Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Finlay Field on the campus of Roseburg High School in beautiful Roseburg, Oregon. It's just about time for kickoff as the Roseburg Indians will begin the 2026 season at home in a classic Southern Oregon Conference battle. Visiting tonight, it's the Ashland Grizzlies, playing down at the 4A level this year, a 5A caliber school, just kind of like Roseburg, a 6A school playing down at the 5A level. Two programs that through the years have had some quality matchups, including some absolutely slugfests in some state championship games back in the day. But the two classic rivals from the Southern Oregon Conference haven't played since 2005 when the OSA expanded to 6 classifications. They haven't seen each other on the football field. But tonight, we put that streak to an end. It's Roseburg, it's Ashland, and it's a classic battle to kick off the season with you here tonight on The Score. It's great to have you with us for our Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. We appreciate their continued sponsorship of our broadcast. Carter Stedman will be joining me in the booth here tonight as we make our way towards kickoff and throughout this evening's broadcast as we bring you Roseburg football here on The Score. And when we come back here during the Roseburg Disposal pregame show, we get a chance to catch up with head coach Matt Watson for the first time. It is our Abby's Legendary Pizza pregame coaches interview. Abby's Legendary Pizza, much like this matchup, it's a legendary tradition. We'll have more with Coach Matt Watson on a beautiful Friday night to kick off the season coming up when we come back here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Financial security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Do you ever wonder what beavers actually store in their dams? We have a pretty good guess. In stores now, Umpqua Ice Cream's Beaver Tracks, the official ice cream of your favorite team.
At Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its 3rd generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Here with more of our Roseburg Disposal pregame show on The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. Getting ready for our first Friday night underneath the lights, and joining us is Coach Matt Watson. Coach, we're getting things started. Beautiful weather this week. It's been a long time since we've had a chance to do this. I think I was calculating about 10 months since the last time we got a chance to speak before a football game. And as you guys are gearing up here, I mean, just encapsulating what has been always a kind of a long off season where guys are doing all sorts of different things. But How do you feel like this team is prepared for now what is game week for you guys?
The hardest thing was having to take a break after last year's season. It was like, no, guys, we need to take a little break and then we can get after it. But we've had guys in and out of multiple sports. We've had guys in and out of the weight room. We had a huge crew that lifted over the summer. We took a big group of guys over to that North Bend camp. And so they've been working towards this for what feels like 10 months. It feels like it's been 10 months. And there for a while, it was, we don't know who we're going to play. And then once we found out it was going to be Ashland, then the kids started asking some questions about Ashland and started asking their parents about Ashland. And then, you know, the community started to reminisce and talk a little bit about that Roseburg Ashland rivalry, which only, I think, you know, creates more excitement for our community, which is great for our players to let them know this stuff matters, and that they are a brick in a wall, a very long wall of Roseburg history. And so that's been exciting to talk about too.
Yeah. You know, I was talking with athletic director Adam Blue about, you know, honoring some of the past with Coach Bell making an appearance, it sounds like this week, for what was such a big rivalry during his time as the head coach here with this program. And many of these guys, they probably don't know much about Thurman Bell. It's been a while since he was the coach, but their parents probably do. And you mentioned that they've probably talked to their parents. I mean, how have you seen these guys kind of start to understand maybe how exciting this night might be, knowing that it's kind of a classic rivalry, that these two communities back in the day really had a lot of, you know, excitement around these matchups when they came around?
You know, we've talked about it a little bit, and I know that parents have talked about it as well, but obviously our big message has been we need to be 1-0, regardless of who the opponent is. And so, I mean, honestly, you know, with it being a season opener, there is so much buzz and there's so much excitement. Everything that's on top of these guys have been hitting each other. They've been hitting each other for months. They've been going up against each other for months. And so now to have all of that culminate with an opponent, you know, I mean, we've been talking about diet. We've been talking about hydration. We've been talking about watching film. We've been doing our conditioning. We've been lifting. We've been running plays. We've been scripting our defense and all of that stuff. And that they're just kind of chomping at the bit, ready to go against an opponent. And so then when it's Ashland, there's so much excitement. It's almost like the rivalry piece is just like the cherry on top of something that they're already really excited about.
Yeah. Week 0, it condenses things down a little bit. How's that process
So
going?
we've done week 0 games before, right? And it puts a lot of stress on us, obviously. But, you know, I mean, we have all summer to prepare for this. Like, yeah, we've got a couple of weeks from the time we start doubles. We're getting ready for Ashland, but we've been watching Ashland for a few months now. And it compresses us. It gets us into a tight time crunch, but it just forces us as coaches and players to be efficient. Like, you know, we can't have a million plays in the playbook. We can't have a million calls on defense. We can't have a million checks on special teams. We can say this is what we're going to do, and we're going to be really, really good at it.
Yeah. I know obviously no games to kind of look back on and see who stood out or anything like that. But I know I heard recently.
There's a few.
Oh, yeah. I know recently you guys were just naming some captains and guys like that, you know. So obviously you're kind of starting to see guys that are stepping up and maybe taking on that leadership role, taking on those kind of responsibilities that you need to see guys stepping into those roles. Or anybody that's standing out to you that you'd like to highlight as we get ready for game one?
The 4 guys that were voted on by their peers last night, and it's really exciting when you get voted on by your peers, right? Is Vi Palomalo, Lito White, Elias Rush, and Nick Ruiz. And those guys, they've put in so much work that the players recognize that, and they recognize their voice mattering. You know, everybody's voice matters, but their voice being something that these are guys that guys are looking to anyway.
Yeah,
they're already looking to. So when we asked for captains, those were the ones that they came up, and then the last captain each week will be our scout player of the week that we'll announce on Thursday. So tomorrow we've had several weeks of scouts. We'll add one more player to that captain that just kind of adds that carrot to give us a good look when they're on scout.
Yeah. Well, we'll wrap it up with this. Obviously, Ashland coming in week 1, or week 0. So no game film from this year to look at. So there'll be some guys maybe in some new places that weren't on film from last year.
Yeah.
What do you know about them, and what might you expect from them here coming up this evening?
Well, I think Ashland wants to play real fast. I mean, they've got talent all over the place with their tailback, with their quarterback. He's a gunslinger, man, and he can sling it downfield. So we have to be ready to be able to put a cap on stuff and not let anything get behind us. We know that they've got some receivers that on paper you can see their height versus our height, and so we know that's going to present a challenge for us. So our plan is to be as physical as we can, get into the backfield on pass plays and short that quarterback's clock and get 11 hats to the ball on run plays, get 11 hats on defense and bend, don't break.
Yeah. All right, Coach, looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Week 0, it's game 1 of the season. Hopefully we didn't blow away too much here, and we'll get ready for kickoff coming up right around the corner as we continue on with the Roseburg Disposal pregame show here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service, Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Back here at Finlay Field as we get ready to go for today's broadcast of Roseburg Indians football. Want to remind everybody that tonight's game is streaming live with video online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. Make sure you head to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button to follow the action with us. Our live video stream is brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. Wrapping up the Roseburg Disposal pregame show with you here, and we introduce into the booth here Carter Stedman. Joined us some last year, former Roseburg Indian himself, although he's of a newer generation and not one of the generation that saw this matchup be a big one on the football field. Roseburg and Ashland played for a couple of state championships, Ashland beating Roseburg for the 4A crown 29-23 in overtime in 1998. Ashland also won 24-22 in 1989 for the AAA crown. A couple of really close matchups there in a state championship setting, the league opponents for a long time. So, Carter, this was a bit before your time, a little before my time as well, and obviously before I was here in Roseburg. But have you heard from your family, which is generations of Roseburg students through the years, have you ever heard stories of Roseburg and Ashland through the years?
Yeah, absolutely. Not just from my parents, but obviously coaches and teachers that grew up going to school here. It's a historic rivalry. It's also the two places where I live. Obviously born and raised in Roseburg, going to school down in Southern Oregon and Ashland. So even when I'm down there, I'm hearing about stories of how Ashland used to play Roseburg back in the day. And like you said, Joey, just such a great rivalry. And it's so awesome that we get to renew that chapter once again.
they're getting ready to send out the captains for the coin toss. And tonight, if you are somebody that was a part of that rivalry before, there may be some familiar, at least, names. I don't know if you recognize the faces still, but I'm sure you probably do if you knew them. It'll be Jim Nagel from Ashland and Thurman Bell from Roseburg High School. The two coaches, legendary Hall of Fame coaches that were the head coaches of those big battles that happened back in the 80s and 90s between these two teams. And they were kind enough to come up here for this renewal of this rivalry. Jim, I believe, is down in the San Diego area. Coach Bell is down in Arizona, and they both made their way here. I actually got a chance to stop, and I met Jim for the first time before I got up here to the booth and saw Thurman Bell down there and got a chance to say hi to him. Still looks like he could get out there and do a drive down the field. It looks to be in great shape as he makes his way out towards midfield here. They are going to go out there, and the former coaches, the Hall of Famers, will be helping with the coin toss here tonight. Pretty special moment for these young men. You know, talking with the coaches, Carters, these young guys, it has been – I think it's been over 10 years now since Coach Bell was the coach here. Yeah, this would be the 11th season without Coach Bell at the helm. So these guys, most of them don't know really much about Thurman Bell and his time as the coach for Roseburg. So it is cool for these youngsters to get a little bit of a history lesson.
Yeah, it's funny, Joey. You know, Coach Bell, he's been out at the country club a little bit this summer, so I've seen him a few times there. And a lot of my coworkers who are also my age don't really remember growing up watching Coach Bell or those teams because, like you said, we just weren't really old enough when he was coaching and those Roseburg teams were in their prime. So to see him out there, to see the Ashland head coach out there as well, really cool just to see those guys back here in Douglas County.
It is pretty fun. Coach Bell asked Coach Watson, what do you want? Watson said, I want the football. Coach Bell said, that's what I always wanted too, but it looks like Coach Nagel might have won the toss, is going to defer. And so Roseburg will get the choice here. But we are getting close to kickoff as Coach Bell and Coach Nagel, honorary captains here tonight. The coin toss is underway. That means the game is about to kick off. We'll be back after this. Final break on the Roseburg Disposal pregame show here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Just got a whole lot tastier at Abby's Legendary Pizza with 3 new reasons to stop by. Meet the new Mix and Match Trio. Choose any 3 of your favorite appetizers for one great price. More variety, more flavor, and more reasons to share. Next, get cheesy with our new Big Mott's Cheese Bowls. Crispy on the outside, melty on the inside, and perfect for dipping. Choose from sticks or nuggets. Save room for dessert with Abby's 3 new cookies served warm from the oven. Pizza, appetizers, dessert. Summer just got legendary at your neighborhood Abby's.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Wow! Where are all those ducks heading? We have a pretty good guess. In stores now, Umpqua Ice Cream's Duck Tracks, the official ice cream of your favorite flock.
Just about in time. And the kick is away on the 2026 season, but before we get there, whistles to stop play. They might have started just a fraction too early. I'm not sure. I don't see any flags out, so I don't know if it was a procedural penalty. I think maybe just they didn't give them the all clear. So we'll do it again, and we will welcome you into the booth high atop here at Finlay Field at Roseburg High School. Coming up, we'll take a look at your Southern Septic Service starting lineups from residential to commercial. Southern Septic Service has your behind covered when it comes to septic tank pumping and inspections, portable toilet rentals, and grease trap cleaning. Southern Septic Service is woman and veteran owned and a proud supporter of our local sports teams. Along with Carter Stedman, I am Joey Keeran. It's great to have you with us for another season of Roseburg High School sports here on The Score. Again, our live video stream is running right now at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. The kickoff is away again. It will go to Caden Moon, who gets it at the 15 on the far side of the field. He's going to cut it back to his right, and he will lose yardage back to about the 12-yard line, and that is where Roseburg's season will get underway. We'll see if they spot where they spot him exactly, but here we go. The offensive line for the Roseburg Indians at left tackle, Vaipal Amalu. Asher Crespo at left guard. At center is Grayson Coate. Right guard is Aiden Morales, and right tackle is Carter Johnson. At quarterback, we are expecting R.J. Elliott, a sophomore, making his first start at the varsity level. He'll be out there giving the signal in the huddle as they will break in the backfield with him. Set up to his left is going to be Lito White. They spread two targets to the right side of the field. That is Emery Hertini out there. They move a man in motion. That'll be Eli Rush. They give it to him on the end around. He makes the first man miss with a stutter step, gets the edge, cuts up field, slips through a tackle. Will try to cut it back towards the middle of the field. Out at the numbers, he's brought down. And on the first carry of the game, Eli Rush, the senior, 5'11", 165 pounds. He will take it out to the 16-yard line, a pickup of 4 for Eli Rush. Taking a look at the rest of your guys that you'll see out there here today as Rush will come off the field. Caden Moon will be out there at a receiver position. I believe we'll see KTM, Caden Toscano-Martin. You've got the tight end, Danner Wirtz, a junior, back after skipping last year. He's set up on the right side as they go I formation. Under center is Elliott. The sophomore turns, hands to the deep back as Roseburg tries to run right through the teeth of the defense across the 20-yard line, falling to about the 21. The ball carrier is Lito White, and that looked like a pickup of 5. It looks close to the first down marker, Carter.
Yeah, it absolutely does, Joey. And you mentioned the run game and some of the skill guys for Roseburg. There's not a lot of experience outside of Caden Moon. He led this team he is the lead returner, rather, in receiving yards and rushing yards. Outside of him, Joey, not a lot of experience. You have Rush and White in the backfield. They don't have a ton of varsity playing time, and the same goes for this receiver room as well.
So it is 3rd down and 1, and they'll bring in a new quarterback in shotgun, carrying over the left side, just burying it. A new quarterback will come in for the first down carry for Roseburg. And coming off the bottom of the pile, that is Oscar Costner, 6'1", 210. He was described as the Tim Tebow quarterback option for this Roseburg offense, and he goes right through the middle of the defense out to the 27. He'll pick up 6, and it's a first down for the Roseburg Indians.
That's not going to be the last time you see that tonight, Joey. I talked to offensive coordinator Connor Neal before the game. He's calling the plays this year for the Indians. He talked about being able to bring in Costner for those short yardage situations. He's going to be the primary ball handler when he's in on the offense. 3
plays and a first down for Roseburg. High shotgun snap, handed off. Running left side is White. He drags a tackler. Will stay on his feet as he's outside the numbers on the left side. He'll pick up decent yardage on first down, but not a big number. Maybe just a yard and a half. It's only going to be out to the 28. A nice job by the Ashland defense getting some hands on Lito White early. Lito White, a junior, 5'11", 185 pounds. He's making his first start at the varsity level. Last year played in 1 game. He had 3 carries, 18 yards total. And as you mentioned, a lot of inexperience on this Roseburg offense and on this Roseburg roster as they start out the season. 2 targets out to the right side, tight end to the right. That's Danner Wirtz, not down in a 3-point crouch. Stays into blocks. The pass goes left side. Caught by Caden Moon. Takes on a tackler as he gets pushed out across the far sideline at the 38-yard line. Good enough for a first down on the first pass attempt for R.J. Elliott.
And another thing we haven't seen in a long time here at Roseburg, Joey, a pass from the shotgun. That's something we've seen really throughout the past 3 or 4 years. Roseburg running a lot of that wing T, that wishbone offense. This year they wanted to mix things up, get their playmakers out in space. That's why you've seen them in the spread eye. That's why you've seen their quarterback in shotgun. Expect to see a little bit more of that throughout the season for Roseburg.
Caden Moon played in a couple of different spots last year, played in 8 games. He's the returning offensive guy for this Roseburg team. He has his first catch. Rolling out now to his right is Elliott in shotgun, throws midway downfield. He had options. He had short with Wirtz. He had deep with Eli Rush, and he goes intermediate, trying to connect with Hertini, but the pass is incomplete, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and if you're Connor Neal in this Roseburg offense, you have to expect there's going to be a little bit of jitters. I mean, you're trotting out a sophomore quarterback. He's never played varsity football before, and this is his first start. He's going up against a veteran defense as well, Joey. This Ashland team, they feature 3 all-league defenders in Logan Lavorce, the linebacker, and 2 DBs in Saxon Brock and Tegan Marple, so it's not going to be easy for the sophomore quarterback.
3 down linemen make that 4 down linemen. Linebackers up in the box looking to blitz. They do send pressure, try to go outside the box, and slipping tackles and staying on his feet. Lito White, he's across the 50. He will take on 1 tackler as he cuts back inside the numbers, stays upright, and gets pile driving back to the 40-yard line, but he's into Ashland territory, taken down at the 38-yard line. He flips the field, and Roseburg has a first down on the carry by Lito White.
Yeah, that's a tough run there, Joey. It looked like he was wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. White able to break a few tackles, get open in space. Looked like he could have been able to take it to the outside. Decides to cut back in. Nevertheless, big gain for Roseburg.
7 plays on the opening drive for Roseburg. 8:33 to go in the first quarter. 25-yard gain on the ground for Lito White. He was a name that Coach Watson pointed out to me in our preseason conversations, and he's coming up here. I formation, Ruiz is the fullback. They give it to him. He slips through. Good fake there, and I didn't think that Ruiz had the football on that one. He sneaks up the middle. The fullback takes it inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line, and he picks up 11.
Yeah, a couple of new ball carriers in the game as well. That was Graham Fisk lined up as the tailback behind Ruiz, but like you said, Joey, with that misdirection, they had Fisk going out to the left, opens up a gap for Ruiz up the middle.
Nick Ruiz last year, mainly playing defense. He's the returning leading tackler. He's the only returning all-league selection for Roseburg. He was honorable mention as a linebacker last year. He did have 9 carries for 20 yards last year as a junior. Ruiz will set up to the left in a 3-point stance. Just short of the shotgun for Elliott. Fakes the handoff, throws over the middle. He's got his man wide open. It's the tight end, Danner Wirtz, who takes it inside the red zone. And Roseburg is marching down the field against the Ashland Grizzlies.
Danner's going to be a big target, Joey, for R.J. Elliott in this Indians offense. Just a junior. He's a big guy out there, listed at 6'4", 235. Not going to be an easy dude to drag down, and he's just a junior.
Pass goes down to the 3, a pickup of 24 through the air for the Indians. And Wirtz with his first catch at the varsity level. He played football as a freshman, did not play last year as a sophomore, decides to play here as a junior this year. He's a standout on the baseball field, but they talked him into playing some football this year. Counting down to about 7 minutes to go in the opening period. Roseburg on the opening drive looking to put points on the board. First and goal from the 3. Turn, handed to the deep back. Lito White over the left side. Does he cross the plane? He'll come up just short at the half-yard line. Lito White trying to get the first points on the board for Roseburg. Gets stalled right at the doorstep.
Don't be surprised here, Joey. 2nd and goal here for Roseburg. You have Oscar Costner, the quarterback, the Tim Tebow comparison. Like you said, if they decide to go with him here, it looks like Elliott is going to stay on the field.
They will keep Elliott out there. Slender guy. Elliott listed at 155. He will set up under center. He's got Ruiz, the fullback, right behind him. Offset, Danner Wirtz to the left of Ruiz in the backfield. Lito White, the deep back. They've got blockers back there for him. Turn, hand it to him, run over the left side, and he's in. Touchdown, Roseburg. And the Indians strike first in 2026.
And what a first drive, Joe. I mean, you have so many guys out there that haven't played varsity football yet, including your quarterback, including your running backs, and most of your wide receivers. That didn't stop this Indians offense at all. They chew up just about half of the first quarter, go down, put it in the pay dirt, and take an early lead, which is so important for such a young team.
The Indians will set up for the PAT. It is Caden Moon, the holder, and Lito White is going to be the kicker. I was curious to see who that was going to be this year after Remy Huerta graduated last year. The kick away is low and might have been blocked. And you've got Lito White shaking out his foot. Hopefully not a big issue there. Well, it is 6-0. Roseburg on the board first against Ashland with 6:18 to go in the first quarter. We'll come back after this 30-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Just got a whole lot tastier at Abby's Legendary Pizza with 3 new reasons to stop by. Meet the new Mix and Match Trio. Choose any 3 of your favorite appetizers for one great price. More variety, more flavor, and more reasons to share. Next, get cheesy with our new Big Mott's cheese bowls. Crispy on the outside, melty on the inside, and perfect for dipping. Choose from sticks or nuggets. Save room for dessert with Abby's 3 new cookies, served warm from the oven. Pizza, appetizers, dessert. Summer just got legendary at your neighborhood Abby's.
The drive recap, 11 plays, 88 yards, 5 minutes and 42 seconds. Roseburg strikes first. They lead it 6-0 on top of Ashland. We'll have a look at your starting lineup offensively for the Grizzlies coming up. Those are brought to you by Southern Septic Service. From residential to commercial, Southern Septic Service has your behind covered when it comes to septic tank pumping and inspections, portable toilet rentals, and grease trap cleaning. Southern Septic Service is woman and veteran owned and a proud supporter of our local sports teams. Our broadcast today also brought to you by Roseburg Country Club, established in 1922, offering an 18-hole course with excellent year-round playability. Find out more at roseburgcountryclub.com. Lito White had 34 yards on 5 carries in that opening drive. Kickoff is a short pooch kick down to the 31. It'll be received by Ashland and then quickly out of bounds. The return man, Logan Lavorse, will take it out of bounds, and Ashland will start in pretty decent field position for their first offensive drive of the night. So the Grizzlies, after a 2-win season last year, they're going to start with the ball at their own 30-yard line. Colton Hernandez is the junior quarterback, honorable mention all-league last year. He'll lead them out there. Gavin Lavorse is the junior running back. You might also see Caleb Welling back there. David Carter, second-team all-league receiver. Cole Iwamoto, honorable mention all-league last year as a receiver. Saxon Brock and Logan Lavorse, other guys you'll see as they like to air it out. Hit as he throws, launching deep downfield, and just out of the hands of Cole Iwamoto. Looking back into the sun, he drops that one. He had the position defensively against KTM, Caden Toscano-Martin, in coverage. Didn't know if the ball was coming his direction, and going up to high point at Iwamoto had it right through his hands.
Yeah, Joey, if Ashland wants a chance to win this game, they're going to have to come down with those kind of catches. You look at these receivers and the way they match up with Roseburg's DBs, they have a huge height advantage. David Carter, 6'5", Iwamoto, who just had that drop, 6'2". They have 2 other receivers listed over 6 feet tall as well.
Shotgun snap coming up here for Hernandez. 2nd down and 10 from his own 30. He'll pitch it. Running right side is Gavin Lavorse. Things are wide open. Penalty flag is out. That might be why. As taken out of bounds on the far side. Getting in to make the stop, Max Christenberry. As the ball carrier, Gavin Lavorse, was enough to pick up the first down. It would be good for about 14, but the penalty flag is right back at the line of scrimmage in the area of possible holding.
Yeah, Joey, I think they're going to get Saxon Brock, the tight end, here with the hold. Just a little too much there at the line of scrimmage. I think this one will be coming back.
It's our first penalty flag of the night, holding against Ashland. That'll negate a 14-yard play. So they'll move the ball back from the 30 back to the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 20 for the Grizzlies. Up along the front line, Jay Fry, Jack Mabin, Crew Lang, Keller King, and Essa Digert. You've got a couple of returning starters, 3 in fact, along that front line for the Grizzlies. They look to protect their quarterback, Colton Hernandez, who likely throwing here. There's a open, they've got some coverage there. They had a receiver tight and hit as he makes the catch and taken down. Saxon Brock makes the grab, but KTM is right there to make the tackle. It's a gain of 5. First completion of the night for Hernandez.
Yeah, heads-up play there from KTM. Roseburg doing a good job disguising their coverage. Toscano Martin jamming that X receiver out in coverage and then getting back into the flat to make the tackle. Going to be 3rd and long here for the Grizzlies.
Clock continues to run, 5.5 to go here in the first quarter. 3rd down and 15 from the 25. Ball on the left hash mark for the Grizzlies. Roseburg's got the front line. Vi Polamalu up there in the middle. Elijah Wilson and Danner Wirtz, the 2 defensive ends in the middle. Asher Crespo, the middle linebacker. Nick Ruiz in there as well. 3rd down and 15 for the Grizzlies in the road white jerseys here tonight. In shotgun, Hernandez and whistles. I thought I heard it, and we get the flag from the far sideline. It's going to be a false start, it looks like, on the Grizzlies. Backing them up here on 3rd down and already long. Their 2nd penalty here in the first quarter.
One thing I'm interested to see, Joey, we saw a lot of times last year Roseburg's defense doing a good job of getting teams backed up into these 3rd and forever situations, but then they give up big plays on the back end. This year, I'm interested to see how this experienced secondary with guys like Christenberry, Hertini, Caden Moon, how they fare against an experienced wide receiver core who also has a quarterback that can throw the ball all around the field.
So it'll be 3rd down and 20. After the 2nd penalty on the drive, the ball back to the 20-yard line again for the Grizzlies. 2 targets to the left side, tied into the right of the formation. 1-man lone out on the wide side of the field. Hernandez fakes the handoff. Blitz coming. They'll try to set up the screen, and the throw is off the mark. Ashland having to look back into the sun, and I don't know if Gavin LaVorche didn't have a good look at that ball. He was wide open. I'm not sure if the pressure also forcing the junior, Colton Hernandez, to just have to throw that ball before he was settled.
It was a great play design, Joey. I mean, Ashland runs the halfback slip screen. Roseburg brings the pressure from the blind side of the quarterback, but just unable to make the pass. And like you said, with that sun coming in the eyes of the running back LaVorce, that can be a tough catch sometimes.
It's a bit breezy out there as well, so the punter might have the wind at his back to help him out here as the punt unit will come out for the Grizzlies facing 4th down and 20. Roseburg has Elias Rush. Deep to return. The punter for Ashland is going to be the quarterback, Colton Hernandez. Low snap, but he has it. Gets the kick away. High, wobbly kick. Not a bad one, though. Lands at the 49 and takes a great bounce for the Grizzlies and just will keep going. You couldn't ask for much better than that. That ball landing at midfield and will trickle all the way down to the 24-yard line. So a decent punt there for the Grizzlies, but an empty drive to start things out. And they will give the ball back to the Roseburg offense with 4:45 to go in the first quarter. The Indians will have the football starting at their own 24-yard line. Today's ball game is brought to you by Waldron's Outdoor Sports. Hunting season is right around the corner. Check out hunting and fishing gear and supplies at Waldron's, now at a new location, 450 Northeast Stevens in Roseburg. Well, the opening drive, 11 plays, taking up over 5 minutes and covering 88 yards for Roseburg, finishing in the end zone. Here they go. Can they do it again? It'll be R.J. Elliott in shotgun. 1 man to his right. That is Eli Rush, and timeout before the play. Roseburg will use one here. We'll go ahead and take the timeout as well as the Indians use their first in the first half. We'll take a 30-second break on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Live video coverage of Roseburg football on the Score is brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe You can find our live video stream on our website, 541radio.com, or head right to the source. Go to our YouTube channel, search 1490 The Score on YouTube, find us there, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you don't miss any Roseburg football this fall. Out of the timeout, Roseburg with the ball. They go on a slant route. It is Caden Moon on the catch. He gets taken down at about the 32-yard line. If that is the spot, that is where they will put him. That'll be a pickup of 8 on the play. For the Indians, it's another pass completion to Caden Moon. He's got 2.
Good job by Caden there to get separation on the in route. Those throws, Joey, they're not anything special. They're not going to get the crowd riled up, but for a sophomore quarterback who's only thrown a couple of passes at the varsity level, that can do so much for your confidence. And if you're R.J. Elliott, you have to be feeling pretty good right now. You scored on your first drive. You have the lead. You're just under halfway here through the first quarter, starting to build some confidence for the young QB out there.
It'll be second down and short. They've got about 2 yards to pick up here as the clock under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Elliott in shotgun, offset fullback to his left, looking to pass out in the flats. That one goes backwards to Caden Moon. He'll use a stiff arm, then he's able to carry the defender out to the 36-yard line. A little bubble screen out into the flats, and it moves the chains for the Indians.
When you look at this wide receiver room, Joey, I've talked about it a few times, but Caden Moon, he's going to be the lead returner in the room. You're going to see the ball in his hands a lot. Last year in 8 games, went for 34 catches, 219 yards, 4 touchdowns. That was actually on the ground. Receiving 7 catches for 74 yards. The rest of the room, not a lot of experience. You got guys like KTM, Danner Wirtz, Graham Fisk. So the ball is going to be in Moon's hands a lot throughout the season.
He is the leading guy coming back with the offensive production there for the Indians. He picks up 4 yards and moves the chains once again for Roseburg. I want to venture a guess. I believe now 4 first downs, I think, in the game so far for the Tribe. They set up 1st and 10 on the right hash mark. Moving left to right on your radio dial. They will run and just bouncing off of defenders. Lito White was nowhere to go in the middle. He ran right into a brick wall of white jerseys, and nobody wrapped him up. He slips through and gets out to the 39-yard line. We'll pick up 3.
And that's not the first time we've seen that, Joey. He's not a big guy, 5'11", 185. But with that being said, he's doing a great job at the line of scrimmage. Even if it's not a huge gain like we just saw, still being able to churn those legs and at least pick up a yard or 2 if you can.
I had him down for 3, but no, they had him. We'll make an alteration to that one, a stat correction later. Probably about a 2-yard pickup as they had originally had the ball spotted at the 37. Second down, and there's a penalty flag out. It was the far side judge was already walking in, getting ready to throw the flag as soon as the ball was snapped. So that'll be the first penalty on Roseburg. Our crew here today, our referee is Patrick Brooks. Umpires Thomas Deaver. Linesman is Garrett Satfield. Line judge is Austin Stone. And back judge is Cody Kronzer. Waiting to see what the penalty is here. The ball was at the 39-yard line. It's going to be a false start against Roseburg. So that'll back the Indians up. First time that they have lost yardage here today. The ball will be spotted back at their own 34-yard line. Second down and 13. Looking to pass. Elliott will dump it into the middle. He's got White on the screen, Pele, and he had blockers in front of him. But a nice job by the defense for Ashland to shed the blockers and bring him down after a gain out to the 41. Good yardage to make up the penalty, but a nice job. It felt like a play that looked like it could have been a lot bigger.
Yeah, a good teaching moment there for a young running back too, Joey. When you get those screen plays, you want to be able to follow right behind the behind of your blockers, essentially. Alito White, we've seen him break tackles. Not that he can't do that, but in those slip screens, you want to be able to follow your blockers for downfield as long as possible.
Picked up 7 on his first reception of the evening. And now Roseburg, for the first time tonight, facing a 3rd down and long. They've got 6 yards to try and make up here. Need to get the ball to the 47-yard line. Taking some time in the huddle here, and Coach Watson not happy on the sidelines as he has to call a timeout, their second here in the first half. There's 1:42 to go in the first quarter. Roseburg uses their second timeout. We'll take a 30-second break on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service, Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
Out of the timeout, Roseburg with the football facing a third down and long. Actually, they moved the chains back. It's now third down and 11. And they might have had a penalty there that moved them back. Throwing over the middle, it's off the hands for Danner Wirtz. They have the ball. Yeah, they must have lost 5 yards there when I wasn't looking in the commercial break. As Roseburg was back at their own 36-yard line from the 41, and now the incompletion, just the second of the night for R.J. Elliott, and it'll be fourth down and 11. So did you happen to catch anything there?
If I'm not mistaken, I think they did get called for a delay of game there on third down before Coach Watson tried to call a timeout, so I think that moved him back 5 yards. And, yeah, just a little too much heat on that pass from Elliott there. You're going to get that with some of these nerves. Now Roseburg forced a punt.
Lito White's going to do the punting duties as well. He'll kick it to the far sideline. Does a nice job to angle it out of bounds. Got a good hop. And it will go out at the 30-yard line. And Ashland will get the ball at their own 30 to start another drive. That's where they started their first drive of the night. You've got 1:13 to go here in the first quarter. Ashland with the ball for a second time as they trail 6-0 here tonight in the season opener for Roseburg and Ashland. Tonight's game is brought to you by Palm Wealth Management, a member of D.A. Davidson & Company, member SIPC. And by Gibbs RV Superstore, you gotta get to Gibbs. Hernandez will lead the offense back out after not really connecting with his receivers. He'll be in shotgun, looking to try and air it out again. He's got the tight end to the left, 2 targets to the wide side of the field, left of the formation. He will keep it after the fake handoff, and there's a lot of room over the left edge. He will take on the defender, lowers his shoulder into Max Christenberry, who tried to come up and make the tackle. Christenberry will get credit for it, but that was more Colton Hernandez running through the defender.
Yeah, and just a good read there. Obviously a read option play. Both ends decide to go for the running back. Hernandez, just an easy keeper there, able to pick up 7 or 8 yards.
Yeah, it'll be officially 8 yards on the play. So they'll have second and short.
One thing, Joey, for this Ashland offense, on that first drive for them, they really shot themselves in the foot. They had a drop. They had a couple penalties. You know they're going to air the ball out. The question is, when will that offense start to come alive for them?
And they've so far been trying to take advantage of Roseburg's kind of assumption that the ball is going to be tried to force downfield. They've gotten their big pickups on plays when Roseburg's been dropping into coverage, much like that last run for Hernandez. Hernandez will pass it. He finds the man on the in route and over the middle, slipping tackles, taken down from behind. Graham Fisk will be there to make the stop on Cole Iwamoto. Dropped the first pass of the game for the Grizzlies. This time catch and run. He'll take it to the 30 and likely will be taking us to the end of the first quarter. That is a 32-yard connection through the air. Once they spot the ball, the clock should run, I would think. And first down to the 30. Wind the clock, and there we go. Into the first quarter. 6-0 Roseburg in front, but the Ashland Grizzlies are on the move. We'll come back after this 1-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Second quarter as the sun starts to set here at Finlay Field. The Ashland Grizzlies trying to get their offense sparked. They are at their Roseburg 30. Now moving left to right on your radio dial in the white jerseys. A keeper here for Hernandez. He will weave his way up the middle of the defense. Takes it inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line, and just a patient run. And I really think the Roseburg Indians expecting pass plays, that has let things open up underneath for the quarterback Hernandez.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before the first quarter ended, but when you're a defense and you know that the offense is likely going to pass the ball, that opens up a lot of running lanes, whether that's for a running back or a quarterback. And with a veteran QB like Hernandez, an honorable mention all-league kind of player, he can be able to make those plays with his legs and move the ball upfield.
The ball is at the 23. It'll be 2nd and 3. Roseburg playing tight on the receivers on the outside. Fake the handoff, looking to pass down the far side. Too far out of the reach intended for Iwamoto in the corner of the end zone. Third incompletion of the game for Hernandez, who is now 2 for 5 on the night. It'll be 3rd down and short for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it looked like Iwamoto wanted a hold there on Caden Toscano-Martin. A lot of physicality there in the first 5 yards. However, Toscano-Martin able to get his hands off of the receiver before that ball was thrown. No flag on the play.
3rd down and short in Roseburg territory. Likely 2 plays to try and get the first down here for the Grizzlies. Roseburg in the black tops, orange pants here tonight at home. Under center goes Hernandez. One back deep behind him. That's Gavin Lavorse. He'll move a man in motion. That'll be Iwamoto. Give it to him on the end around. He will get caught in the backfield. Falls forward to get back to the line of scrimmage. Roseburg read the play, and they defend it well, getting past the blockers on the edge to get to Iwamoto on his first carry of the night. It'll be now 4th down and 3 yards. No gain.
Yeah, and just good instincts from what is relatively a young defense, especially on the front 7 for Roseburg. You have Iwamoto going in motion from right to left. They're able to sniff it up in a huge 4th down play here to start the second quarter.
Just underway here in the second. 10.5 to go in the period. Roseburg leading 6-0 here on the score. They spread out trips to the right side of the formation. Empty backfield in shotgun is Hernandez. He's got 2 targets to the left side, 5 wideouts there. Roseburg will send some pressure, throw it quick. It's in and out of the hands of the receiver, intended for Saxon Brock. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. Roseburg will get the ball back.
And a heads-up play, Joey. They brought the heat there, did Roseburg. They go man coverage, what looked like on the short side of the field. Zone on the opposite side. There was 1 DB and 2 receivers, both relatively open. But Hernandez decides to go to the far side of the field. Ball comes up incomplete, and Roseburg, a huge stop for the defense. Now you get the ball back, a chance to make it a 2-possession game. Huge defensive stop here in the first half for the Tribe.
So the Indians will get the ball back with 10:14 to go here in the second quarter. They start with the ball at their own 23-yard line. R.J. Elliott, the sophomore QB, getting his first start at the varsity level, will be back out there in shotgun. He's got White to his left, hands it off. Lito tries to run right side. He'll get to about the 25-yard line, a pickup of 2 for the Indians.
Yeah, not a lot going there, Joey. But this run game, they're going to have to continue to be creative in their play calling and finding ways to move the ball downfield, especially like I've mentioned a few times now. Young quarterback, you don't want to solely rely on his arm. Now, we've seen him be able to move the ball downfield with completions, but when your run game is efficient and successful, it makes life so much easier on the quarterback.
Roseburg will head back to the line, facing 2nd down and 8. Tied into the right side of the formation, you've got Hertini out with Caden Moon spread out to the left side. Fake the handoff, looking to pass over the middle. Juggling attempt, and Danner Wirtz up the seam route, can't haul it in. Incomplete pass. Quick read on the tight end there to try and get it to him, and it was just off the fingertips for the big junior, Danner Wirtz.
Yeah, trying to fit it into a tight window there as well. There was no disguising where that ball was going. And it looks like we're going to get a flag here on the play as well. A little unsportsmanlike conduct, I do believe, there on Ashland, and that'll move the ball up 15 yards.
Yeah, they will set that ball down at the Roseburg 40-yard line. So another penalty on the Grizzlies. 15-yarder there. 1st down and 10 for the Indians. That is unofficially now 3 penalties on the Grizzlies so far here in the first half. Roseburg with new life on the drive. 1st down and 10. And give it to the fullback up the middle. Sidestep the defensive line going to the right side. And out to the 45-yard line. A pickup of 5 for Nick Ruiz, the senior fullback, getting in on the action once again.
One thing that's noticeable to me, Joey, with Roseburg running the ball with this little I formation and the receivers out wide as opposed to what we saw last year, it just opens up more running lanes for your backs. Even if you're running between the guards or between the tackles, there's just less bodies. It's not as congested there at the line of scrimmage. And we've seen these backs, whether it's White or Fisk or Ruiz, be able to kind of find that space and take advantage of it.
They will send in Oscar Costner at the quarterback spot. They've got a package of plays for him. And he will come in, sets up 5 yards deep in shotgun, moves White to his left. 2 targets to the right side. They move a man in motion. They get Ashland to jump. A lot of movement on the line, and it's on this side. And now both are saying false start. You had Ashland jumping all over the place. And the near side judge, that is Austin Stone here on the near sideline, saying no, that it was Roseburg that jumped. Grizzlies into the neutral zone, but I guess not enough to cause the penalty to be against Ashland.
Typically, Joey, when you see a defensive guy jump at the college or professional level, you're going to have your center hike that ball as soon as they see that movement so you get that free play. But, of course, this is week 1 in high school football, so maybe not going to get that kind of football IQ as much here at this level.
And you've got a new center out there in the junior, Grayson Coate, one of pretty much 4 new starting offensive linemen. Rolling to his left is Elliott. Open space, has some time, sets up, throws short, but it's in and out of the hands of Lito White. Incomplete. That is 3 straight incompletions now for R.J. Elliott. And it'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Tribe. They've got to get the ball to midfield to move the chains.
And the play was there, Joey. It was such good patience by Elliott rolling out to his left. Didn't have to make a deep crossbody throw. However, just put a little too much heat on it, threw it to the wrong shoulder of his running back in Lito White. And now you're going to have 3rd and 10 here. Not a situation you necessarily want to be in with a young quarterback who hasn't thrown a lot of passes.
7:56 to go in the first half. Coming up, we've got your Amerititle halftime show. We'll recap the first half for you. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Gibbs RV Superstore. You got to get to Gibbs. 3rd down and long. In shotgun is Elliott. He's got White to his right. Dropping back, looking to pass. Has a man open. It's over to the right side. It's the little comeback route to Emery Hertini to move the chains. And into Ashland territory, he'll pick up 11.
Fantastic timing on that throw and catch. Right when Hertini's coming out of his break, the ball is out of Elliott's hand. Hits him right in the hands, going out towards the sideline. And just such an impressive throw under composure, 3rd and long. The defense knows you're throwing the ball. I've been really impressed with R.J. Elliott so far.
So it's a fresh set of downs. Roseburg trying to add to a 6-0 lead. Clock running, or stopped, at 7:51 as the play went out of bounds. Handoff, delay handoff, and Ashland sniffed that one out, but Lito White will not go down. He was going to get punished for staying up. He could not break free, and Ashland had about 3 more guys decide to come in and pile drive him into the turf. His forward momentum will be stopped at the Roseburg 49, so it'll be a loss of 2 on the play.
It looks like he's a little banged up as well. Joey is White. You saw him kind of holding his foot and limping off the field after that PAT when Roseburg scored on their opening drive. Once again, you see White a little banged up trotting off the field.
He'll go get checked out on the sideline. Roseburg will bring Graham Fisk into the backfield to the left of R.J. Elliott. You've got Hertini and Rush out to the right side. Moon alone on the left side. Tight end on the left end of the line for the Tribe. Rush moves in motion. Fake the handoff. Look to the left side, and it's intercepted. Missed the target. Just threw wide of the defender, and Caden Moon will make the tackle. It is Saxon Brock that makes the interception. A lot of tackle. I'm wondering if they're going to say a horse collar. Looked like he just grabbed him by each of his shoulders and spun him down. But there are penalty flags out, and it kind of felt like it was going to be on Moon as he made that tackle.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Moon with the horse collar tackle there, especially with the celebration that you're seeing on the Ashland sideline. That throw just a little too much on it from Elliott over the outside shoulder of Moon there. It was a good route. Moon was open. Just a little too much heat on that ball, and now you got Ashland with a little momentum heading the other way.
They're going to call a face mask on the play. So not a horse collar, but a face mask for the sophomore quarterback, R.J. Elliott, his first turnover of the season. Was looking in the right spot. He had him open, just misfired with the pass.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a tough break there, too. You're moving the ball. Elliott's been airing it out all night. There's been no issue in the passing game. Not only do you turn the ball over, you also have a 15-yard penalty after the interception that lines Ashland up already in Roseburg territory.
Ashland had the interception at their own 44. You add on the Roseburg penalty, and the ball is now at the Roseburg 41-yard line. We got whistles to stop things as they are getting the chain set. And Ashland ready to go with 6:51 here in the first half. First down and 10. The Grizzlies trailing 6-0. Roseburg scored on the opening drive. It's been scoreless since. 3-man front for the Indians. They send some extra pressure. Short pass out to the far side, and Emery Hertini's right there to wrap up the receiver, making the catch for Ashland. Out on that far side, that is Asa Richardson on the grab, but he is quickly brought down.
Great play there from Hertini. It was setting up to be a wide receiver screen, if you will, where he comes into the middle of the field and follows his offensive lineman up the middle of the field. However, Hertini not only slips the block from the other receiver, but also able to make that tackle for a loss of 1.
So far for a team, I mean, we heard from Coach Greg White for Ashland. He said, we're going to air it out. Everybody knows we're going to spin it. But so far, just 6 passing attempts. Hernandez is 3 for 6 for just 37 yards on the night so far. Sun has set. Lights will start taking effect here at Finlay Field on this Friday night. Roseburg sending some pressure. Quick pass out to the far side. One-on-one. Hertini grabbing once again Richardson, and he will drag him down right at the sticks. It's going to be just short of the line to gain out to the 32, a pickup of 9.
Yeah, another short yardage situation here for Ashland. We saw them on their last drive struggle a little bit. They had 3rd and short. They had 4th and short. Unable to move the chains and come up with any points. Now at this time, you want to see them probably be a little bit more aggressive if you're a Grizzlies fan, especially here as we approach the halfway point here in the second quarter.
Both teams trying to get the ball rolling on the 2026 season. It's been a number of weeks of practice going through everything, but now it's a different colored jersey on the other side. It's a high snap over the head of Hernandez. He picks it up back in his own territory, running for his life, throws out to the near side. It is out of bounds, and a great job by Hernandez to just be able to make something happen there and not take a massive loss back into Ashland territory.
Absolutely, Joey. That's not a play that's going to show up on the stat sheet. I mean, I guess it will as an incompletion if you're Colton Hernandez, but that is a fantastic play. That ball was snapped 5 yards over his head. He had to run almost 20 yards backwards, had probably 5 or 6 defensive players for Roseburg chasing him, so to get out of the pocket, get rid of that ball past the line of scrimmage, big-time play there from Colton Hernandez.
So it'll set up 4th down and a yard for the Grizzlies. They had a turnover on downs in Roseburg's territory down at the 23-yard line to start out this second quarter. They'll go under center with Hernandez. Roseburg with 3 men on the defensive line. Hernandez might have an opportunity to just sneak it. No, he'll pitch it. Going right side. Roseburg, pressure in the backfield. Can they bring him down? It is just at the line, and it is not going to make it. Taken down right at the line of scrimmage is Cole Iwamoto, and he is a yard short. A turnover on downs for Ashland once again.
And all the credit there, Joey, goes to Eli Rush on that play. Gets out, has a tackle in space, able to make the open field tackle. Huge play. If he doesn't wrap up Iwamoto on that handoff, there's a good chance Iwamoto takes that one to the end zone. Instead, it's another 4th down stop for Roseburg, and they're heading the other way with a chance here to make it a 2-possession game heading into the half.
That is 2 turnovers on down deep into Roseburg territory for the Grizzlies. I mean, it's early in the season. Both teams still trying to, get familiar and get perfected with the playbook. But right now, it has been a defensive affair. Roseburg with the offense back out. Elliott under center, I formation, gives it to the deep back. White tries to go right side. We will fall forward out to the 35-yard line. Good to see Lito White back out there after limping off the field. He is back out there in the action once again. Lito White will carry for a pickup of 3.
Great situation here for the Roseburg offense as well. Yes, you're under 5 minutes, but you don't really have to hurry here with 4:30 to go. You don't get the ball to start the second half, so you don't want to give Ashland an extra possession. But with that being said, you don't have to go hurry up offense. You can run the ball. You have your whole playbook to your exposure at this point.
Roseburg took 5 minutes and 42 seconds on their opening drive getting into the end zone. So if they could do that again, it would take them to halftime. Looking to pass, Elliott goes far side, gets it to Hertini. He tries to slip the first man. He stays on his feet as he gets through the tackle and will be taken out at the 41 on the far side, a yard shy of the line to gain. It'll be another pickup for the Indians out to the 41. A pickup of 6 on that pass play. Hertini has now had 2 catches on the night, 17 yards, and he sets him up at 3rd and short.
These backs and receivers for Roseburg have been a nightmare to get to the ground for this Ashland defense. You've seen it with White, you've seen it with Caden Moon, and now you see with Emery Hertini there, able to pick up a few extra yards to make it 3rd and 1.
3rd down and short from their own 41. Need a yard to gain under center. Give it to the deep back, running up the gut and moving the chains. Out to the 43. Lito White will pick up 2. Roseburg will get another 1st down here on the night. That tally so far in their favor. Lights are starting to flicker on here as the sun sets over the Callahan to the west. That is to the right for those that are watching with us online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. Our live video simulcast brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. 3:08 to go first half. 6-0 Roseburg in front. Spread out Moon to the left side. Wirtz, the tight end, on the left end. You've got 2 targets to the right side for Elliott in shotgun. He'll move rush in motion right to left. He'll get the shotgun snap, looking to follow some blockers, tucks it in, will run. Penalty flag is out as Elliott gets smacked across the sideline by Brock. There is a penalty flag out in the area of what could be holding. There's a pickup of about 3 on the carry for Elliott. See what the crew gives us here. The ball is spotted, or the flag is spotted at the 43, so they'll walk the penalty off from there. And it will be a 10-yard penalty for Roseburg. So, looks like holding. I don't know if I ever saw an actual signal, but it looks like holding.
Yeah, those are the things that kill your drives too, Joey. You're under 3 minutes now. You want to start to put in a little tempo in the offense. You're moving the ball well. You go with that quarterback design run. It's a tough task for your offensive lineman to block a guy to the right who's trying to go to the left. Ends up being a holding call. Now you're looking at 1st and 20.
So they're back at their own 33-yard line. Ball on the left hash mark. Tied into the right side. 2 backs in the backfield with Elliott. Looking to pass, looking to his right. He's going to air it out down the far sideline. Has a man out there. Hertini can't haul it in. Just out of his reach. I think it was just off the fingertips as he goes tumbling out of bounds. You know, for the sophomore, showing off a pretty decent arm there, and he almost dropped that one in the bucket.
I was going to say, that's about as good of a throw as you can make in that situation. There was 2 DBs down the field. Hertini kind of just running straight at him. Usually you want those receivers to drift a little bit more towards the boundary, which is where Elliott was trying to guide him. Just overthrew him just a hair, but overall, a great throw there. No risk involved. You're not risking an interception or a turnover, and you still have an opportunity to move the ball.
Not risking it as long as you get the ball out there enough. You leave that ball hanging up in the air, leave it short. 2 defenders out there easily get back to that ball. It is now 2nd down and 20. Looking to pass, they set up the screen. White is wide open. He gets to the 50 and will get tackled forward by Brock. And that will be nearly the 1st down. He comes up a yard shy on the running back screen set up to Lito White.
And another great play design there too, Joey. Ashland brings pressure. They blitz 6. Roseburg doing a great job. That offensive line moves up the field. Lito White trying to get to the sideline. He does get tackled in bounds as the clock continues to move. But nevertheless, the ball still moving upfield for Roseburg here with under 2 minutes to go.
Pickup of 18 on 2nd down and long. It is now 3rd down and a yard and a half. It's the quarterback keeper for the big quarterback. Costner goes over the right side and will be about a half a yard shy as he gets to the 48-yard line in Ashland territory. Needed another yard to move the chains. And so the clock will run with 1:18 to go here in the first half. Roseburg into Ashland territory, but will probably need to start picking up the pace if they can move the chains here on 4th and short. The ball near midfield, if they cannot convert here, Ashland with short, not a full length of the field to have to go to try and convert. Roseburg will set up. It's a fumbled snap, and Roseburg will turn it over on downs. Under center was Costner, and he just couldn't handle the snap.
Yeah, and that's the risk you run in those kind of situations, Joey. Usually less risky when you go under center with your quarterback to have a fumble or any sort of turnover. However, Costner unable to come up with the ball there on the snap, whether that was the center's fault or Costner's fault, who knows. Either way, it's going to be Ashland now with the football, 55 seconds to go, and they only have 50 yards to the end zone.
There's a loss of 3 on the fumble. The Grizzlies will have the ball at the Roseburg 49, so half the field to work with. Hernandez in shotgun. He's got Caleb Welling, the sophomore, back to his left. 6-0 Roseburg in front. Penalty flag out. Looking to pass. Hit as he throws. This one launched downfield, and it's off the fingertips for KTM. He was stride for stride downfield with the intended receiver, looking to try and hook up with Iwamoto, but he did not have the position, and now we'll see what the penalty flag is back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I thought it looked like there was a little bit of movement on the Ashland offensive line. Obviously not the case, or else the play would have been called dead. Either way, it looks like it's going to be Roseburg with an offsides penalty, if I had to guess.
Waiting to see. It's against Ashland. I was looking in the wrong direction, didn't see what the call was, but saw the point go Ashland's direction. So Hernandez got punished on that one, and it's a play that doesn't even count. The ball goes back to the Ashland 46-yard line. A loss of 5 on the penalty.
That play also took 6 seconds off the clock, Joe, and when you're under a minute left, you want to utilize the clock as much as you can. It's really a lose-lose situation there for the Grizzlies.
Hernandez now has Welling to his right. 3 targets on the wide side of the field with the ball on the right hash mark. Calling out signals at the line. Shotgun snap, looking to his right, short side of the field. Will pull up and throw deep. And on the sideline, catch made by Coach Matt Watson. He's wearing the wrong color for Colton Hernandez. He's also not a legal receiver, so that is an incomplete pass.
Joey, I've been really impressed with this Roseburg secondary. Some of the guys here, Caden Moon, KTM, Emery Hertini. This is a really, really good receiving core for Ashland. They have 2 guys in Iwamoto and David Carter who are all league honors last season, and they really haven't done a lot for this Ashland offense, at least in terms of explosive plays. You see another one there where the quarterback, Hernandez, just has to throw it out of bounds. Really, really impressed with this Roseburg defense throughout the first half.
2nd down and 15. Clock stopped with 4:32 to go in the first half. 6-0 Roseburg in front, trying to hang on to that lead going into the locker room. Hernandez with the tight end on the left side of the formation, fakes a handoff, going to try to run. He's just out of the reach of the defense. He will spin it out to the far side at the 50-yard line. He will carry out just across midfield to the Ashland 49-yard line. He will pick up 5 on the, to the Roseburg 49-yard line. He will pick up 5 on the play, and it's a timeout taken by Ashland. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. We come back with the conclusion of the first half after this quick timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its 3rd generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Well, it's great to have you with us here as we're having fun here on this Friday night, kicking off the high school football season. Roseburg right now leading 6-0 against the Ashland Grizzlies. The Grizzlies have the football near midfield with 35.5 seconds to go in the first half, facing 3rd down and 10. Out of the timeout, Hernandez dropping back, looking to go deep downfield, has a man open the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. And downfield, Graham Fisk stays with the play. Initially, Saxon Brock had gotten beyond him, but the ball hung up in the air. Fisk was able to catch up, and he stuck with the play and was able to knock it free.
Yeah, that play, Joey, was the closest thing you're going to see to a David and Goliath story between Graham Fisk and Saxon Brock. Brock's taller, he's heavier, he had 2 to 3 steps on Fisk. However, that ball, Hernandez, we know he has a cannon for an arm, just a little bit underthrown, allows Fisk to get back in the play, get the PBU. Now you're looking at 4th and long here for Ashland.
Incompletion there for the Grizzlies. 4th down and 10. They move a man in motion here to the near side, rolling out to the near side, hucking it downfield, going deep once again. And that ball's knocked away. In coverage, Eli Rush will knock it away from Iwamoto. Another incompletion and another turnover on downs by the Grizzlies. And there's not a lot of time left, but the ball's at midfield, and the Roseburg Indians have the ball in their hands with 21 seconds to play before the break.
I mean, I know I've brought it up a couple times, Joey, but these safeties and these corners for Roseburg tonight have put the seatbelts on these Ashland receivers. There have been no plays downfield. The most open throw that we've been able to see from Hernandez and the Ashland offense was a play that was just broken up there on that 3rd down by Graham Fisk. These receivers, I really thought that they'd be able to take the top off of this Roseburg defense coming into tonight, and I really couldn't be more wrong about that so far.
Roseburg turned the ball over on downs at their own 49, and now Ashland has turned the ball over on downs at the Roseburg 49. The ball is basically not moved for the last handful of plays. Roseburg has 21 seconds to try and cover 51 yards. R.J. Elliott looking to pass, dropping into a lot of coverage. Got a man open. It's Rush who will go out of bounds as he makes the catch inside the 30. He got loose out on the far side. Dropping back into zone coverage there, Ashland left an open spot. Eli Rush found it, and finding him, R.J. Elliott does a great job of distributing the football.
And one of the most underrated parts about that play from Eli Rush, a veteran on this Roseburg team who's played a lot of varsity football, getting out of bounds there. A lot of times you'd see guys try to cut up field, get 2 or 3 more yards. Rush just takes what he can get, gets out of bounds, and stops the clock with 15 seconds left.
23 yards on the completion. Elliott in shotgun, 2 targets either side. Looking to pass, some pressure coming. He'll get rid of it quick. Goes to the far side of the field, caught by Moon out at the 19. That is a throw from one hash all the way to the numbers on the other side of the field by a sophomore making his first start at the varsity level. I'm impressed.
Yeah, usually when you have a young quarterback, Joey, and we talked about this pregame, you want to run the ball, you want to stay conservative. That has not been the case at all between offensive coordinator Connor Neal and quarterback R.J. Elliott. They've been slinging it, they've been moving the ball down the field, and now they have a chance to sneak some points here before halftime.
Caden Moon with his 4th catch, leading receiver for the Roseburg Indians. R.J. Elliott has gone over 100 yards passing here in the first half. Needless to say, that is one of the best passing performances we've seen by a Roseburg quarterback in years. Penalty flag is going to come out as it's a false start on the Tribe. That might just be a bit of a backbreaker here.
Going back to what you said, Joey, about it being one of the better quarterback performances we've seen recently, it's not even halftime of week 1 yet, and he probably has more passing yards than we might have seen all season last year. And that's not a knock at Corey Kimball or anyone that played quarterback for Roseburg prior, but the offense is just so much different to what we've seen the last 3 or 4 years under Coach Watson.
Roseburg averaged 59.6 yards passing last year. Another penalty flag out for, I think, another offensive false start, and the Roseburg coach's box next to us here not happy, to say the least. So Roseburg's going to back themselves up a total of 10 yards on back-to-back penalties here. And they're all the way back to the 29-yard again. So back-to-back penalties have basically wiped out that pass completion to Caden Moon. And the ball's back at the 29-yard line. Roseburg facing second down and 11. Elliott with White to his left. Has some time in the pocket. Will throw out to the far side. Intended for Wirtz, but a bit too much behind it. Not sure Wirtz was expecting initially that ball to come his direction. And that ball out of his reach. Big target out there, but that one a bit too tall.
Yeah, now you want to be careful here, Joey. Obviously 5 seconds left, third down. You probably expect they're going to throw this one towards the end zone. But the last thing you want to do is underthrow a ball, leave a ball in the air, or take a sack where you could risk a fumble recovery. Because if a ball gets underthrown and caught by an Ashland DB and it starts going the other way, then you risk a touchdown, and that could completely shift the momentum in this game. So if you're R.J. Elliott, you're throwing it to the end zone, and worst case scenario, it's getting out of bounds.
6-0 score here with 5.3 on the first half clock. Roseburg with the ball at the 29-yard line. Looking to pass. Elliott with time, heading to the end zone. He had a man there. Emery Hertini was open. He had the position, had to make a tough throw over the linebackers in front of the DBs, and it's incomplete. And that is going to do it for the first half. That's how the first half will come to a close. An incompletion for R.J. Elliott. And Roseburg will go to the break, leading this one 6-0 against Ashland. A touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game, and that's it. 6 points on the board for the Tribe, nothing for the Grizzlies. It's been a defensive battle as both teams kick off the 2026 season. We'll come back with your AmeriTitle halftime show. Choose the team that's always keeping their eye on the ball for you. AmeriTitle, your Pacific Northwest professionals for real estate, title, and escrow. It's coming up when we return here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Just got a whole lot tastier at Abby's Legendary Pizza with 3 new reasons to stop by. Meet the new Mix and Match Trio. Choose any 3 of your favorite appetizers for one great price. More variety, more flavor, and more reasons to share. Next, get cheesy with our new Big Mott's cheese bowls. Crispy on the outside, melty on the inside, and perfect for dipping. Choose from sticks or nuggets. Save room for dessert with Abby's 3 new cookies, served warm from the oven. Pizza, appetizers, dessert. Summer just got legendary at your neighborhood Abby's.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Wow! Where are all those ducks heading? We have a pretty good guess. In stores now, Umpqua Ice Cream's Duck Tracks, the official ice cream of your favorite flock.
Back here at halftime, the Roseburg High Marching Band getting ready to perform for us. Always exciting to see that. Before we get into that, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg football on the score. Joey Keeran along with Carter Stedman here in the booth. It's great to have you with us for another night of high school sports here on the score. Kicking off the season, Roseburg Indian football. And boy, Carter, I don't know about you, but it's just exciting and fun to be back out here doing it again for another season. And it's always fun when Roseburg's leading at halftime.
Yeah, it's the best time of the year, no doubt. Football is upon us. I mean, we have week 0 of college football tomorrow, so I love that. And then obviously just being here, being back at home, Finlay Field, up here in the booth with you, it's awesome. And to see some good football is also very exciting. That first drive really got the crowd into it, got us into it, quite frankly. And since then, yes, it's been a stalemate, but that doesn't mean we haven't seen some good football. I've been really impressed with the Indians' offense, Joey. I mean, what we've seen from them in the passing game, especially, really surprising to me. I talked to offensive coordinator, Connor Neal, before the game. He said they were going to throw it a little bit more. I did not expect anything like this. R.J. Elliott, the sophomore quarterback, he's been money so far, been really accurate, made some really good throws, and so far I'm just really impressed with what I've seen so far.
This is the Amerititle halftime show. Roseburg Marching Band performing out there. We will get to see them multiple times throughout the season, but our first look at this year's routine, and looking epic as always. So a lot of fun to see them and get a chance to see what they've got in store for us here today. Well, taking a look at it, it's 6-0, and we recap the scoring from the first half. As Carter said, opening drive, a touchdown, and after that, it's been a stalemate. Roseburg scored on the opening drive. The kick was no good. It was 6-0 with 6:18 to go in the first quarter. Roseburg had 11 plays covering 88 yards in 5 minutes and 42 seconds. It was a touchdown run from 1 yard out. And that would go to Lito White, the junior running back, getting his first action as a starter this season and in his career for the Indians. He gets the first points of the year to put Roseburg on front, but then it was a series of punts by both Roseburg and Ashland. Turnovers on down by the Grizzlies, a couple of them in the second quarter. And the Grizzlies get the first turnover of the game, the first takeaway. R.J. Elliott, the sophomore quarterback, throwing a little wide of his intended target, Caden Moon, and intercepting the pass was Saxon Brock for the first takeaway of the year for the Grizzlies. Roseburg unable to get a takeaway in the first half, but some good defense by the secondary, keeping some big pass plays downfield from connecting. That is your scoring recap from the first half. We will continue to put together some offensive numbers from the first half. We're also going to get you a chance to check in on some of the scores going on around here. Week 0 of the high school football season. Douglas County had 6 teams that were out there competing tonight. About half of the teams from the Umpqua Basin were participating in games here this evening. So we'll have a look at that scoreboard when we come back as we count down towards the second half. It's the Amerititle halftime show. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll have more coming up for you as we are at the break. This is Roseburg football leading 6-0 on 541radio.com and on the score 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Taking a look at our first half stats here during the AmeriTitle halftime show. Choose the team that's always keeping their eye on the ball for you. AmeriTitle, your Pacific Northwest professionals for real estate title and escrow. Well, first half team numbers. Roseburg with a total of 182 yards in the first half. 10 of 18 through the air for 120 yards, 1 interception for R.J. Elliott. 15 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown for Lido White. On the other side for Ashland, they have got a total of 66 yards in the first half, 4 of 12 through the air for 46 yards, and five carries for 20 yards in that first half for the Grizzlies. Grizzlies plagued by a few turnovers, and then just not a very good completion percentage to start out the ball game for Colton Hernandez. I would have been probably laughed at you if you had told me, Carter, that at halftime of week 1 of the season for the Roseburg Indians against a team that coming into it we felt was going to throw the ball a lot, that Roseburg would have, practically three times the amount of yardage through the air than the Ashland Grizzlies.
Yeah, not only that, Joey, but if we would have sat here before the game and said, okay, both teams are going to throw the ball a fair amount. Ashland has 4 honorable mention, 4 all-league players on their offense, whereas Roseburg barely has any guys that have played varsity football, and Roseburg's going to outclass Ashland in the passing department. I would have said you're crazy. However, that's exactly what has happened. I mean, you look at R.J. Elliott. Yes, he has the 1 interception. You want to stay away from those. But outside of that, I think he's been excellent. That run game with Lido White has definitely helped that. And, yeah, with Ashland, I think it's just a little bit of those week 1 jitters. You're on the road, maybe some unfamiliar faces throughout the offense. But for the most part, these are guys that have returned. They've played together, especially the receivers in Iwamoto and Carter. I expected big things out of them. Not that can't change in the second half. But I think that pressure in the backfield for Colton Hernandez is something that's just made him a little uncomfortable. He's had to move off of his platform a lot. They had the bad snap where he had to scramble for his life and throw the ball away. So for him, I just want to be able to see Ashland provide a clean pocket for their quarterback in order for him to make plays. But he also has a tough task with that Roseburg secondary because they've been elite with the likes of Max Christenberry, Emery Hertini, Eli Rush, and KTM back there as well. They've been elite. They all have probably 5 or 6 pass breakups in total, and they've made life really, really hard on this Ashland offense.
They're in the halftime break here. It's the AmeriTitle halftime show. Leading rusher for the Roseburg Indians in the first half is Lido White with 38 yards on 9 carries. Leading receiver is Caden Moon, 4 catches for 31 yards. For the Ashland Grizzlies, 3 carries for 20 yards for the quarterback, Colton Hernandez. And with 1 catch, Iwamoto has the most receiving yards with 32 on the night for the Grizzlies. Ashland is scheduled to get the ball to start the second half. We are just about to get things underway. It is 6-0 here at the break. We'll take a look at the scoreboard, get you some scores from around the state here on the start of the high school football season with a 6-0 score here. It's week 0. We'll take a look at that, and we'll get some thoughts from Carter Stedman as the second half gets ready to begin. It's a defensive battle. We'll have the second half for you. This is Roseburg football. You can watch tonight's game streaming live online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. And you can, of course, always follow Roseburg Sports right here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Financial security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Do you ever wonder what beavers actually store in their dams? We have a pretty good guess. In stores now, Umpqua Ice Cream's Beaver Tracks, the official ice cream of your favorite team.
At Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today. Now,
back here at halftime from Roseburg High School, 6-0, the Indians in front. This has been the Amerititle halftime show. Taking a look at some scores going on here tonight. Let's see, North Douglas is on the road in Klamath Falls taking on Cross Point Christian, a battle of two teams that were tied for number 4 in the coaches poll preseason rankings. And it looks like with 4:15 to go in that one, Cross Point was leading 20-14. It's a good battle there, so it is awesome to see that North Douglas is hanging in there, but unfortunately they're on the losing side after that long trip down south. I saw, let's see here. Grants Pass trailing against Nelson 21-7 at halftime. South Medford trailing Oregon City 21-7 at half. Sheldon is leading Thurston 3-0 in the first quarter. Thurston will be a team that Roseburg will see later on in the year. Douglas Trojans at halftime. They are at home taking on Klamath Union tonight, and KU leading 14-12 in that one. North Medford 19, Lake Ridge 7, halftime there as well. And our good friend Dan Bain is covering Brookings Harbor football once again this year, and at halftime, Brookings leading Gold Beach 13-12. So that is a look at some of the scores going on around the state. Carter, any thoughts about what you'd like to see for the second half of this ballgame?
Yeah, I think for Roseburg, you just got to take care of the little things, right? Yes, you have the interception from R.J. Elliott, but you also had a turnover on 4th down with a fumble from quarterback Oscar Costner on a short 4th-and-1 play where you really easily could have moved the chains there. So for them, instead of playing not to lose here in the second half, I want to see them continue to be aggressive. Move the ball downfield with the passing game. Continue to hand the ball off to your backs in Lito White and Eli Rush. If they continue to play the way they did, in that first half, I think they should be okay. And then on the other side of the ball for Ashland, just clean things up as well. Give your quarterback, Colton Hernandez, a clean platform to throw from. I know I said that before the break, but this is a guy last year, Joey, who threw for over 2,000 yards and 23 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions. He struggled here tonight against an experienced Roseburg secondary. So for Ashland, I think you clean things up, maybe invest in the run game a little bit. We've seen Hernandez make plays with his legs. We haven't seen them hand the ball off to their backs a little bit more. And then for Roseburg, with just a younger, inexperienced team, I want to see them keep their foot on the gas.
Been impressed with Roseburg's defense in the secondary, but also with kind of selling out to cover those receivers. They've been able to do a nice job keeping things minimized on the ground for Ashland. That means guys that are probably outnumbered up at the front have been able to do the job and make good tackles to keep things from getting out into that open space. While we got a break right here, want to let you know, if you were unaware, we do have previews of all 13 Douglas County teams up online at 541radio.com and on nrtoday.com. I was working with my counterpart over there, Gloria Coleman. We went out and covered all 13 teams around Douglas County, did interviews with coaches and players, got details, schedules, all of that information and video is up online at 541radio.com and on nrtoday.com. It's presented by West Coast Flooring and Interiors in Roseburg. Appreciate their sponsorship, as well as a lot of investment from other businesses in the communities where those schools are at. It's great to see the support for the local sports coverage. Without that, we're not able to get out and do all of that. So we hope you check it out. Looks like a lot of fans have been finding our videos online to be able to preview the upcoming season for all of our teams. Love to see that, and it'll be up there for you to check out. It's only week 0, so we still got like half the county getting their first games coming up next week, so still plenty of time to preview what's to come for our Douglas County teams.
One more plug I got to make, Joey, before we get the second half started. Lido White's dad, Dr. David White, elite dentist over there at Hillcrest Family Dental, went over there earlier last week, got my teeth cleaned, ready to go, and he said he wanted a shout-out. So,
okay,
Dr. David White, thank you for cleaning my teeth up. And his kid, Lido, having a great showing here in week 0 so far. He's been awesome on the ground, so fun to watch for the tribe so far.
All cleaned up before he heads back down to Ashland for school down at Southern Oregon, where he looks to repeat as an All-American in cross country.
Yes. I probably should just take the team bus home. I'm going down tomorrow, so if I could hop on with the team, that would be great. But in all realism, probably just going to drive down tomorrow.
You probably could. Yeah, you should have just caught a ride with the Ashland Grizzlies.
100%.
All right, here we go. Second half about to kick off here from Roseburg High School, along with Carter Stedman. I'm Joey Keeran. So great to have you with us for another night of high school football here on The Score. Our coverage is brought to you by Dr. Alanson Randall, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or call 541-378-6694. Shout out to Dr. Randall for his longtime support of our sports. I didn't mean to read another dentist right after you gave a shout out there, but he was the next one in line, and so that just kind of happened.
A little inner-city rivalry.
Yeah, there we go. Also want to send out a big shout-out to Angela Keeran in the booth helping out with the video production here tonight. Appreciate her as always. Kickoff underway, second half. Here we go. Coming up to make a tackle for the Indians on the kickoff return. Eli Bell getting in on the stop. And Ashland, it was a short pooch kick. Kind of starting to see Roseburg's kicking game a little bit here tonight. Wasn't sure what to expect after they graduated their kicker last year. Remy did a great job doing kickoffs, and Lido White, I don't mean to pick on him since we just gave him a shout-out and whatnot, but it seems like, some work, maybe not necessarily the strongest of kickers for Roseburg, but we'll see how that progresses throughout the season. But they've been kicking short, and it sets up Ashland with the football at their own 34-yard line. Third quarter underway here. First down and 10. Hernandez in shotgun. He's got 3 targets to his right. Looking to pass, goes on the inside bubble screen, and it is dropped by Iwamoto. He has had a couple of passes in and out of his hands, and he lets his quarterback down on that one. He had an easy catch, only a couple of yards downfield, and then had that tunnel screen to try and break free and could not hold on to it.
You could see the frustration after that play, too, Joey, from Iwamoto. That's his second drop of the night. You see the veteran offensive lineman, Keller King, go up, talk to Ashland's leading wide receiver. Hey, we're okay. We're still in this. Still a lot of game left here for Cole Iwamoto.
Second down and 10. Hernandez last year passing for over 2,000 yards, and now Roseburg's going to get called for encroachment. So free 5 yards as they tried to get a little too aggressive up on the front line for the Tribe. Out to the 39-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5. A little bit shorter here. They might look to try and air it out once again. Hernandez going to run the option here. He'll pitch it back, and Graham Fisk does a great job of holding off Saxon Brock, who I think is going to get whistled for a hold because Graham Fisk would not be denied getting to the ball carrier, and the Indians are going to get a break there.
Yeah, that was one heck of a play there from Graham, Joey. We saw him in coverage a little bit earlier. That's not really his role on this Roseburg defense. He's a guy at the linebacker position who you're going to see get up at the line of scrimmage and wreak havoc. Last year he had 20 and a half tackles to go along with 3 tackles for loss and half a sack. So he's a guy who likes to get behind the line of scrimmage and just create contact. You saw it again there, and now it's going to back Ashland up 10 yards.
It goes back to their own 29-yard line. So they give up quite a bit on that. On the carry was Gavin LaVorse, and he had lost 3 yards on the play before the penalty, but they negate the play, take the penalty. It's now 2nd down, back at their own 29. They've got to get it to the 44. 15 yards to go. Opening drive of the second half. Looking to his left, will throw short, coming up, and looking to make the stop. Falling down untouched will be LaVorse. Gavin, the running back coming out of the backfield, gets tripped up by the turf monster just on the other side of the 40-yard line. He'll pick up 11 on the pass completion, and it'll set up 3rd down and manageable here.
Yeah, still not a bad play. Obviously, LaVorse would have liked to pick up a few more yards and potentially get that 1st down. However, those safeties came down, and LaVorse just kind of got caught up, like you said, Joey, another victim from the turf monster.
So 3rd down here. Ashland has turned the ball over on downs a couple of times. Those were all in Roseburg territory. Here they're on their own side of the 50. They'll rush to the line of scrimmage. Play clock winding down. Tight end offset to the right side. They'll move the back end motion. Got to hurry here, and they will get the snap off. Penalty flags fly. I think that was a false start. They give it to Gavin LaVorse. He gets the 1st down and is across the 50, but I think this ball's coming back as the Grizzlies realized the play clock was winding down, and they got a little bit of an off-kilter jump on that one. Had guys moving before the ball was snapped.
Yeah, Joey, kind of interesting there. They let the play go, so that would indicate maybe not a false start. Could be an illegal formation or some sort of illegal shift.
False start is going to be the ruling, and so on what was 3rd and manageable, and they were able to convert it, Ashland will hurt themselves, took too long in the huddle, had to rush the play, and they got moving too early. Back to their own 35-yard line, a loss of 5. It will be 3rd down now and 8.
And now we've seen both offenses really struggle with penalties. It was Roseburg on that drive before the half trying to get some points, hurt themselves. Ashland doing the same thing here to open up the second half.
Here we go on 3rd down, rolling out to his left, pressure coming from the backside, trying to run away from it, tucking it in, getting upfield, and across the back to the other side of the field, sliding down at the 47-yard line for the 1st down. It's Colton Hernandez. Impressive scramble there. Pressure was coming. Looked like he was going to be taken down from the backside. Scrambled free, cut all the way back to the opposite side of the field, and gets down for the 1st down.
Yeah, the kid's an athlete. He had Kit Curry coming off the right edge of that offensive line, screaming across the field. However, Hernandez able to stay on his feet, break a few tackles, cut it to the opposite side, and keep the chains moving for the Grizz.
He's got the 1st down after a pickup of 12. He is the leading rusher on the night for the Grizzlies. 4 carries, 32 yards. 1st down and 10 from their own 47. 1 target out to the left side. Jumbo front here for the Grizzlies. A high snap. They try to run the ball, and it's nothing there. They had 5 linemen and had a back offset on the right side of the line, so they had a ton of blockers in there. Roseburg able to blow it up and make the tackle in the backfield, dropping the ball carrier back to the 43, make that 44-yard line.
Yeah, this front seven for Roseburg's really just been a problem, not only at the defensive line, but the second level as well. We saw Graham Fisk opening the drive, getting that tackle for loss and forcing a holding penalty. That time it's Nick Ruiz getting in the backfield and forcing a tackle for loss once again.
Yeah, it took him back to the 44, a loss of 3 on the TFL for Nick Ruiz. Looking to pass, dump it over the top of the defense, out into the flats. Catch made by Brock. He's running over defenders and will stretch it for the first down. That'll fire up the Ashland sideline as Saxon Brock listed at 6'4", 215, and he just mauled a couple of defenders on the sideline.
Yeah, Joey, that's just some grown man football right there. Brock's a big dude, 6'4", 215. Not a guy you want to see coming at you full speed ahead. If you're an Emery Hertini or a Max Christenberry, any of those guys who are maybe a little bit more undersized compared to the massive tight end / wide receiver Saxon Brock.
Picks up 14, first down into Roseburg territory. 8:26 and counting here in the third quarter. Again, a lot of offensive linemen out there, but Roseburg gets into the backfield. Ball's loose. It's picked up. Roseburg gets their first takeaway of the season. Up on the front line, it's Elijah Wilson. The defensive lineman, the junior, gets the fumble recovery, and Roseburg's got the ball in Ashland territory.
Huge play there, Joey, and the momentum completely shifts here on the pendulum. Ashland, they get the first down. They're starting to move the ball a little bit, and boom, just like that, one bad snap, one bad play, like you saw there for the Grizzlies. Just didn't look like the running back, Gavin LaVorse, saw the ball. He's had some issues tonight holding on to the football and really staying on his feet. He loses that one there on the toss from Hernandez, and all of a sudden, Roseburg, great field position. You got it at the Ashland 44, heading the other way.
So that is going to be a loss of 14 yards on that play for the fumble. And now Roseburg has the ball with 8:15 to go in the third quarter. The Indians will have the ball for the first time. Elliott will get the snap, hands it off to Moon, who's looking to throw. He'll go out to the right side, and either he was looking for a different route or Emery Hertini on the far side was running a different route, but that play does not fall for the Indians. Last year, Caden Moon did play some quarterback as he split some time with Corey Kimball, and Kimball dealt with some injuries, so Moon got some time. But he was just 5 of 19 through the air for 35 yards, 1 TD and 1 interception. Did not get asked to throw the ball a lot last year.
No, not exactly a passer. Joey Moon happened to make the decision to come back for his senior year about halfway through training camp. He decided to come back, and the coaches said, you know what, we're going to move you to receiver. With the speed he has, a good decision there from the coaching staff.
They'll run the ball this time on 2nd and 10, and Lito White is just picking his way up the hash marks inside the 40. Takes it to the 38. Nice pickup on 2nd down to make 3rd down and about 4 for the Indians.
Yeah, Joey, he's been really consistent, as has this Roseburg offense. They haven't had a ton of explosive plays. Yes, they're moving the ball down the field, but it's really just been chunk yardage. It's a 5-yard run here. It's a 7-yard pass there. And with that, they've been effective moving the ball from side to side.
Lito White has a 25-yard run. Everything else is now 6 or less yards. But he's up to 42 on 10 carries. He's the deep back in the I formation. They give it to him with a fullback in front of him to help lead the way. He is taken down on the edge. Coming up to make the tackle is Gavin LaVorse, but a penalty flag out downfield. You had Caden Moon downfield, I think, trying to block. And I'm not sure which side this is going to go on. But that was Dom Flukas in coverage, and the two, Moon and Flukas, getting, I guess, maybe some extracurriculars down there. It was away from the play. It was completely the opposite side, so I wasn't watching for anything over there.
It's been going on for a minute, Joey. I've been taking some mental notes. After the play, we've seen Moon and Flukas going at it, a little bit of John, a little bit of pushing and shoving, and now the referees intervene, and now we wait to see, will it be on Moon or will it be on Flukas? Either way, a really pivotal call because it's likely moving 15 yards either forward if you're Roseburg or you're going back and creating a real 3rd and long.
I think it was just about a yard or 2 on the carry. Unsportsmanlike penalty on Roseburg is the call, and an unsportsmanlike penalty on Ashland. So it'll be offsetting penalties. We'll replay the down. It'll be 3rd down from the 37-yard line. Well, they've got 4th down on the stick over there. I thought it was 3rd down because it was an offsetting penalties. Or did they count the play, I guess? Guess they counted the run, and the penalty doesn't count. So the ball's at the 37. It was a gain of 1 on that run play for White. They'll try to run here, and he'll have some space over the left side, and he does stay on his feet. Nice job. He had the first down, took a licking, and did not go down, and we do have a lineman a little slow to get up for Roseburg. That is up along the front line. Aiden Morales, the right guard, a limp back to the huddle, but he stays in the game. Lito White, though, picks up the first down as he takes it to the 33.
You said it there, Joey. He got in that gap with the linebacker and got hit hard right at the first down marker. However, able to stay on his feet a little bit and get that ball just past the first down line. Once again, another first down here for the Tribe.
Nearing the half-century mark on the night. White is the deep back again. Roseburg's going to some ground and pound, trying to eat up the clock under 7 minutes to go as White keeps moving the defense. Takes it to the 25. Hard-earned yardage there, a run of 8 as he's maybe starting to wear down the defense just a bit. I mean, they are just pounding the rock up the middle against Ashland. And Lito White just keeps going. He's gone. I told you he had one run of more than 5 yards, or he had one run of 5 yards in his first 9 carries. That was a 25-yard run on his 3rd carry. Now he's had 6, 4, 8 in his last 4 carries. He's had some decent chunk yardage. He's the deep back again in the I formation. Ruiz is the fullback, tied into the right side for the Tribe. They'll give it to Ruiz, the fullback, try to slip him up the middle. This time, Ashland able to sniff it out, but it might be, it's going to be just shy of the first down marker. It'll be 3rd down and inches.
Yeah, Joey, and going back to Lito White, like you just said, I'm looking at some of the names on this Ashland defensive line. You have Chris Monty out there. He's 5'8", 230. You got Jack Mabin, 6 foot, 215. Lito White is 5'11", 185, a decent size for a back, and he's just running through these guys at the line of scrimmage, picking up that extra 2 to 3 yards, and it's put Roseburg in really easy situations on pivotal 3rd downs like we see here. Instead of it being a 3rd and 5 or a 3rd and 7 where you're likely passing it, you can line up in the eye like we see here and really continue to run the ball on 3rd down.
6-0 score. Roseburg in front of Ashland. 5:25 to go in the 3rd quarter. It is 3rd down and short, and a timeout taken by Roseburg. Roseburg forgot to add the timeouts back after halftime. So Roseburg will take their first here in the second half. Let's go ahead and get in a 30-second break on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its 3rd generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
3rd down and short for Roseburg. R.J. Elliott, the sophomore quarterback, waiting for the ball to be set. He'll go under center, tied into his left. I formation with Ruiz and Fisk behind him. Elliott will get it, turn, hands it off to Fisk. Plenty of space up the middle to move the chains as he will take it down to the 21-yard line. Picks up plenty. He needed 1 yard. He gets 3. And will get Roseburg a fresh set of downs as they move in just to the edge of the red zone.
Yeah, and just a smart play design there too, Joey. If you're Roseburg and offensive coordinator Connor Neal, you've been effective running the ball between the tackles all night long. Just run up into the I formation, give it to one of your backs there in Fisk, pick up the only yard that you need and keep the chains moving.
Roseburg scored on their opening drive of the ball game. 11 plays, taking over 5 minutes, going 88 yards to score. This has been another lengthy drive here, and they're trying to add to a 6-0 score. Keeper after the fake. Elliott goes right side. High tackle. Got taken down at the 25. No laundry, and out there on the field at the numbers is Coach Watson looking for a flag. They must have seen that the defender did not get inside the collar to try and bring down Elliott as they tackle him back for a loss at the 25. But that was close. From up here, a close-looking play towards a possible horse collar.
Yeah, Joey, certainly looked like a horse collar to me. Now we are going to get some laundry on the field. Looks like it could be on the Roseburg sideline here, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I think it might be a sideline warning here. So not going to be a penalty yardage, but a warning. Loss of 4 on the play for R.J. Elliott on what will be his first official run of the night. 2nd down and 14 for the Tribe. Clock should be running. It's not. It's stopped at 4:29 right now. Elliott in shotgun. 2 backs in the backfield with him. Tight end to the left. Looking to pass. He'll go into the flats, but the ball knocked down, intended for Lito White. He had the blockers in the space, but a nice job by Ashland's defense to get a hand on that pass play to the running back out of the backfield.
Yeah, and that's a tough throw to make for the young quarterback, Elliott, too, Joey. You're running the slip screen. We've seen it a few times tonight. However, when you have 4 or 5 massive defensive linemen in your face, you're trying to put the right touch on the ball. You're trying to get it over their hands. And unfortunately, Elliott just not able to get that one over the hands of the defense.
So a drive that was very promising moments ago has stalled out for Roseburg. They're facing 3rd down and 14 from the 25. Got to get it to the 11 for the first down. You've got Moon spread out to the left, 2 targets to the right, Rush in motion, fake the handoff, looking to pass, have Moon caught down at the 14. The ball came out. Was it a catch and a fumble, or was it an incomplete pass? Ashland ruling for the incompletion. The officials get together on whether or not Caden Moon was able to hang on to the football. Danner Wirtz jumped on the loose ball to keep the ball for Roseburg, and the ruling is incomplete. It would have been 4th down and about 3.
Yeah, and I think that's the right call, Joey. As a receiver, you got to be able to survive the ground. Looks like Caden Moon, great job creating separation, taking that ball into his chest. However, once he was able to get to the ground, not able to hold on to that ball. And now you're in an awkward situation. Yes, it's 4th and long. You're likely not kicking a field goal with what we've seen from special teams tonight. And the defense probably knows you're passing the ball given the down and distance.
It was a tough one to see there from our vantage point, watching from up here in the booth. The receiver had his back to us, Caden Moon, so couldn't tell if he maybe was juggling as he went down with it too, but obviously the ball did come loose. Moon will spread out to the left side. Looking to pass is Elliott, looking towards Moon. He goes on the step, goes to the end zone, and it's just out of reach for him. He made the move to get free. It wasn't a lot of space beyond the defender, but it was there. If Elliott could have dropped it in, and the young QB trying to figure out what life is like playing varsity football, just a bit too much on that one.
Yeah, not a bad throw whatsoever, Joey. Just needed to keep that ball a little bit more in bounds, lead Moon toward the back corner of the end zone instead of that front pylon. And really an interesting play call. I didn't think it was bad whatsoever, but on that 4th down play, only 2 guys actually running routes, both of them fades from the outside receivers. Unfortunate for Roseburg, unable to pick up the first down, and now they trot their defense back onto the field.
Ashland will have the ball at their own 25. 3:58 to go in the 3rd quarter. 6-0 Roseburg in front. 3-man front for the Indians. Spread out wide for the Grizzlies. Pass short to the near side. If it's caught, it's maybe a loss of a half a yard. Really just having to fall to the turf to catch that ball was Iwamoto. If that ball is thrown up, he's got a chance to catch and run, but instead, all he did was smother it just a half yard behind the line of scrimmage.
They've really struggled with those screen plays tonight, Joey, whether it's the bubbles or the jabs like you saw there where that outside receiver is working his way back in to the middle of the field. One, it's been a struggle for Colton Hernandez to just get the ball out to those receivers on time. And then 2, this Roseburg defense has been great about pursuing the ball once it's out of the quarterback's hands.
2nd down and about 10. A long 10 to go for the Grizzlies. Trips to the left side. The right-handed quarterback dropping back, looking to set up the screen. It is caught by the running back, LaVorce. He will sprint upfield. Good acceleration to get out to the numbers on the far side. Gets tackled at the 37-yard line and will move the chains. LaVorce is turning into one of their big play guys out of the backfield. He's had 2 catches now, both of them for 10+.
Yeah, he's starting to get the rock a little bit more here in the second half. We've seen it on the ground. He had the fumble on that speed option on Ashland's last possession. Despite that, he's had opportunities to pick up yards. He's done it when he's been able to hold on to the football, and now you might start to see him get implemented a little bit more here into the Ashland play calling.
First down and 10 from their own 37 to 3:27 to play in the third quarter. Ashland trying to brace the goose egg. Roseburg sends some pressure. Scrambling for his life, out to the right side, setting up the throw deep. It's a goose egg downfield, and it's taken away. That one was just thrown up downfield, and Emery Hertini comes away with it. Roseburg last year had 20 takeaways on the season, and the Indians have 2 here tonight. Roseburg last year had a takeaway in 8 of their 9 games. They've had a takeaway in 17 of 18 dating back to the start of 2024. They have been a turnover machine, and they get their second of the night here tonight.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Joey. Turnover machine. That's exactly what this Roseburg defense has been. And just as good of a play as that was by Emery Hertini, you can say the same thing about the defensive line. They forced Colton Hernandez to get 10 yards the wrong way, get forced outside the pocket, and just throw an absolute meatball downfield. And Emery Hertini really looked like a receiver on that play, able to make the interception. Roseburg, another huge turnover here in the second half.
They keep their 6-0 lead intact. 3:13 to go in the third quarter. They've got the ball back. Ashland showing some pressure. They send it right up the middle. Bouncing out the left side is White. He gets taken down high. That is Brock coming in to make a high tackle up around the neck area. Lito White gets up, stumbles around a little bit. Shakes his head like he's okay, but they're going to send him to the sideline to get checked out and make sure that he is all right. He did a great job to bounce that ball. The pressure came right up the A-gaps. He did a nice job to bounce it out to the outside of the offensive line. Had some space, picks up about 4, but he got taken down. Brock is a big guy, heavy hitter. He just came in a bit high, and it looked a bit scary.
Yeah, we saw him on the offensive end. Brock is a tight end, laying the boom down on some of those DBs for Roseburg. Now you see him playing defense doing the same thing.
Heavy left side of the formation. They'll run that direction. Bouncing it out is Rush. He tucks it in as he makes a spin move across the 35 out to the 37. Has the first down, and Roseburg will pick up 7 on the second down play for Eli Rush. Just his second carry of the night. He picks up 7. The senior back will move the chains for the Tribe. Graham Fisk will take over in the backfield for the Indians as R.J. Elliott heads out for the choir boy huddle. 2:15 and counting here in the third quarter. Roseburg leading 6-0. Elliott under center, looking like they might bring pressure up the middle again. They do. Roseburg tries to run right into the teeth of it as a penalty flag comes out. Graham Fisk will take it to the 40-yard line. It would be a pickup of 3 if the play stands. We'll wait to see what the penalty flag is. While we do, we'll let you know tonight's game is brought to you by McLennan Smokehouse, a family-owned meat shop and smokehouse offering a wide selection, plus fresh produce, baked goods, and a general grocery selection. Stop by on West Harvard Avenue and check them out. Penalty flag is against Roseburg, holding on the Indians. Looked like they had played the blitz pretty well, trying to just go right at it, but unfortunately got a little handsy in there, and they'll get moved back to their own 29.
Yeah, not what you want to see there, Joey, especially with the time and situation here. Third quarter starting to wind down, and as we enter crunch time, you want to be able to move the ball forward. The good news is, however, for Roseburg, you do get that penalty on first down. So you have at least 3 plays to move the ball upfield. You can still be patient with your play calling as well.
Elliott under center. Ashland just continues to pack the box and try to plug those A-gaps. And Roseburg, not a lot of room to run. They get to about the 31-yard line on the carry. As back in the game was Lito White. Bounces around in the backfield to find some sort of gap and gets to the 31 to pick up 2.
One thing that's been interesting with the way Ashland's setting up their defense, they're bringing down those middle linebackers essentially right over the nose tackles so that when the ball's hiked, there's so much pressure on those interior linemen. Despite that, Roseburg's continue to operate under center. You would typically think you'd move your quarterback into the gun, which looks like they're going to do right here.
So the Indians will set up for a second down and 16 as the third quarter is starting to wind down. Going deep downfield, one-on-one coverage for Caden Moon, and the ball is poked away at the last second in coverage downfield. Dom Flukas got a hand on it. It almost looked like Moon was maybe going to just get a little bit of space at contact. Might have been a slight push-off, but he did not get called on anything, and he was almost there, if not for the late just fingertip by Flukas to get a hand on it and knock it away.
Yeah, it looked like Moon definitely had the step on him. Now, whether he leveraged his way to get there or not, that's up for question. Either way, heads-up play there from Flukas. Those two have been going at it on the outside, both during plays and after the plays for a while now throughout this game. Heads-up play there by the Ashland DB to force the incompletion and bring up third down.
Third down and 16. Roseburg at their own 31-yard line. 41 seconds to go in the third. Passing out to the far side, and could not hang on to it. Hertini had it in his hands, and it falls out as he goes diving to the sideline. And again, I will just say, that is a sophomore making his first start at the varsity level, throwing from one hash mark to the far numbers, an out route to the sideline for a receiver, and that ball was on the money.
Hit him right in the numbers, Joey. I mean, if R.J. Elliott's talking to his receiver, Hertini, on the sideline, there's not much more to say than, sorry, dude, I didn't mean to hit you in your hands. I mean, what else are you supposed to say there? Great throw, great play. Hertini, awesome route to create separation. DB slipped a little bit on his break. It would have been an easy first down. However, not able to come up with the catch.
So the drop there will make it fourth down, and Roseburg will look to punt. It is Lito to kick. He'll get the kick away, but it is a high, wobbly kick. Not going to be a lot of distance. It'll take a hop towards the sideline, stays in bounds, and will be down at the 49-yard line. Not a big-time flip of the field, but it will take the ball back into Ashland territory. There's a penalty flag out. So that's Carter's pointing my attention that direction. With 24.5 to go here in the third quarter, penalty flag out. Any idea?
Looks like it could be a roughing the kicker. I did see Lito White a little banged up, which we've seen a few times tonight, limping up off the field. I would assume with the flag back there, it would be roughing the kicker. It could also be running into the kicker, which could change the distance of the penalty.
Waiting to see what the ruling will be. It is a personal foul running into the kicker. So Roseburg will get some help on 4th and 16. The ball will go out to the 46. And with 24 seconds to go and Roseburg leading 6-0, they'll have a fresh set of downs here in the third quarter. And the way they've been able to drive the ball at times, if they can get one of these drives going again, I mean, it's still just a one-score game. Roseburg needs points to really start to feel like they're putting this game away, but they've got an opportunity to start wearing out some clock and really putting the screws to Ashland.
Yeah, I really can't emphasize enough how huge that play is. If you're the Ashland coaching staff, you have to be absolutely outraged at having a roughing the kicker penalty that gives Roseburg the ball back. You would have had the ball at your own 49-yard line, essentially the 50. Instead, Roseburg, a team that has chewed up a lot of clock offensively, has the chance to run away with it.
Going to the right side, penalty flag will come out as Eli Rush gets flung down by his jersey. Goes spinning his way out to the far side, but could kind of see it developing and was waiting to see a flag come out. It's going to be a hold on Roseburg after a short gain on what was first down. Rush was maybe going to pick up 3 yards, but it's coming back. Penalty flag starting to come out a little bit more here, but again, it's early in the season. Everybody has been just practicing. Nobody's had a chance to get out and play against somebody else that's looking to really prove a point in blocking you and make a tackle. This is the real deal, and so maybe seeing guys getting into the game and into the action just a little bit slower here in the first game of the season, but penalty flags have been killers for both sides in this one. Penalty brings Roseburg back to their own 38-yard line as the third quarter will come to a close. It is 6-0. Roseburg in front. We go to the fourth quarter. Roseburg with a lead, trying to hang on when we come back after this 60-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Starting the fourth quarter, Roseburg runs up the middle. It is Eli Rush who is able to squirt out of a pocket, and he will run it all the way to the end zone. No flags on the field. We start the fourth quarter. Touchdown, Roseburg!
Couldn't think of a better way to come out of a commercial break there, Joey. Eli Rush looked like he was wrapped up just a little bit beyond the line of scrimmage, able to turn the feet, keeps his legs moving, and breaks it open right at the end of that play. He was a hair away from getting stripped at a fumble. Heads-up play there by the Ashland DB to pursue Rush. However, he's able to hold on to the ball, get into the pay dirt, and to open up the fourth quarter, the way this Roseburg defense has played, pitching a shutout so far, that is a huge, huge touchdown there by the backup running back.
We got the play as we came out of the timeout, just getting it at the very end there as Eli Rush breaks free. He did not go down. He was taken down, short gain, and just kept with it and broke free. He's able to rush for the score, and for Roseburg, that is going to be a 62-yard touchdown run for Eli Rush. And now they will try to go for the 2-point try after missing the PAT earlier, and Roseburg will use a timeout. We'll keep it right here. I mean, that was about as close of a call as we could get there on trying to get that one on the air. As Eli, there was a quick in-between quarter break, and Eli wastes no time taking it to the house on the first play of the fourth quarter. 12-0 our score. I mean, he was at the 45-yard line. That would have been a pickup of about 7, and then he squirts 3. I mean, he probably was hit initially back at about the 42 and then squirts free for the run. Just absolutely impressive, and Roseburg's shown a lot of that here tonight. As you could see, he was just, it looked like he was done, and he just never went down and breaks free for the score. For those that are watching along with us online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. Our live stream is brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. 12-0 the score. Roseburg going for 2. The deep back is Fisk. Fake the handoff. Elliott rolling to his right. There's no receivers out that direction. He pulls it in and will get thrown out of bounds. The try will be no good. So Roseburg will stay on top, 12-0. And there is 11:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Roseburg in front after a big touchdown run by Eli Rush. And we will keep it going here in the fourth quarter, back after a 30-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Just got a whole lot tastier at Abby's Legendary Pizza with 3 new reasons to stop by. Meet the new Mix and Match Trio. Choose any 3 of your favorite appetizers for one great price. More variety, more flavor, and more reasons to share. Next, get cheesy with our new Big Mott's cheese bowls. Crispy on the outside, melty on the inside, and perfect for dipping. Choose from sticks or nuggets. Save room for dessert with Abby's 3 new cookies, served warm from the oven. Pizza, appetizers, dessert. Summer just got legendary at your neighborhood Abby's.
Here in the fourth quarter, Roseburg takes a 2-score lead. Tonight's ball game is brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. I want to say thanks to our pregame coaches interview sponsor, Abby's Legendary Pizza. They provided our pregame meal here tonight as well. Abby's Legendary Pizza, a legendary pizza tradition. Ball falls off the tee before the kickoff here. Kickoff goes to the 21-yard line, fielded by Iwamoto. Starts on the right, left side, will angle to the right, gets to about the 30 before he is finally brought down. Fought off a couple of defenders briefly, but will gain about 9-10 yards on that return. And Ashland will start with the football at their own 31-yard line, trailing 12-0 with 11:38 to go.
Man, still a lot of time here, too, left if you're Ashland, Joey. Yes, it's been a struggle offensively. You're getting shut out through just over 3 quarters. but you have the players and the talent to be able to come back from a 12-point deficit. You have a veteran quarterback who can prove he can make plays with his legs and his arm. You have receivers who have shown that they can make contested catches tonight. It's just about being able to put that all together consistently for a drive and coming away with points.
Grizzlies start with the football at their own 31, right hash mark. Hernandez in shotgun. One man to his left trips to the left side of the field. Roseburg will double team one of those receivers out to the near side. The pass is low once again for Hernandez. Intended out in the flats for the receiver. And out that direction, you're looking at Trent Severson, who couldn't get back to the ball fast enough as the throw was quite short from Hernandez. Last time out, Hernandez intercepted on a duck that he threw downfield under pressure. That was the second takeaway of the night for Roseburg. They turned it into points. They lead it 12-0 with 11.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Trying to start out the season with a win for a second consecutive year. Running back to the right in shotgun for Hernandez. 2 targets to either side. Call for the snap, fake the handoff, dropping, rolling to his right. Hernandez sets up in the pocket, throws across the field. It is caught. Penalty flag is out. Roseburg might get hit for a late hit on the quarterback. They're going to stop the forward progress at the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 8, but we'll see if this pass will stand or if it might even get some extra yardage at the end of it because of a personal foul penalty on Roseburg. Flag is back at the 29-yard line, and they are going to add to the end of the play. So it is a penalty on the Indians, and back where it was, there was a host of Roseburg defenders pursuing Hernandez, and they must have hit him after he let go of the football.
That's something you want to stay away from here if you're Roseburg. You've played lights out all night defensively. Your defense, they've forced turnovers. They've gotten stops on fourth down. The last thing you want to do is give Ashland any extra help moving the ball downfield, especially given the time and situation.
So it is a 15-yard penalty. The ball out to the Roseburg 46. Clock runs, 11:20 to go. 12-0, Roseburg a 2-score lead. Under center goes Hernandez. Deep crouch, turns and hands it to straight-up running play. Gavin Lavorse is going to have a lot of space and stretches it to the far sideline. Just a nice shallow angle to the sideline with a lot of room out there to run, and his speed takes him to the 40-yard line, and he'll pick up 6 on first down.
Nothing flashy there, Joey Lavorse. We didn't call his name a ton in the first half. I don't even know if he had a carry.
His second carry of the night.
Exactly. So with that being said, we've seen him start to get thrown into the mix a little bit here in the second half. And yes, you're down 2 scores, but with 11 minutes left, plenty of time to run the ball, to have gains like that of 6 yards where you can continue to run the ball. Ashland has their whole playbook still.
This could be a big drive here for Roseburg if they can get a stop for Ashland. If they can get points, they're right back in it after giving up the big touchdown. But here's a run play that goes nowhere, and then a penalty flag out at the very end of that one. The running back for Ashland was just bottled up. Again, that's Gavin Lavorse. They're going to give him forward progress just about to the line of scrimmage, but then a penalty flag out late, and I don't know if it was piling on late on that one. I can't really see. It didn't seem like anybody was late onto the pile. I saw some bodies running past it to try and not get onto the pile. But a penalty flag out here. It's kind of, I'm not sure who's marking where the ball's supposed to be. There's a flag at the 45. The lineman, or the line judge, is at the just behind the line of scrimmage, I think, saying that's where the forward progress was at the 42. I guess that would be a loss of about 2. But then the penalty flag at the 45 is going to go against Roseburg. And I don't know what I missed there, but it didn't seem like anything really egregious had happened.
Yeah, there's a chance we're missing something there, but if we didn't, I don't love the call. I didn't see anything egregious after the play. Yes, it was a gang tackle. You had 3 guys around the ball to bring down Lavorse, but outside of that, I didn't see anything egregious that would have forced a penalty or anything too excessive after the play.
Well, catching a little bit of the replay on YouTube, Angel Dirksen might have been the guy they flagged there. Pass out to the right side, the out route to the sideline. Caught. Nice job going to the ground to make the catch for Iwamoto. The ball had been spotted at the 27 after the penalty on Roseburg.
And another short play there, simple gain, just a quick out route with plenty of space to throw for Colton Hernandez. As the clock approaches 10 minutes here, you still have your whole playbook, like I've said a few times now. If they're able to put the ball in the pay dirt here, make it a one-possession game, the pressure now flips from Ashland and their offense to a young quarterback for Roseburg.
2nd down and 6, and early movement on the line, a false start for the Grizzlies. And just some of the early season rust is showing for both sides. A lot of penalties out there here tonight. That'll move Ashland back as they look to try and get on the board for the first time this year. Tonight's ball game is sponsored by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. Well, if you're looking to follow more Roseburg High School sports coming up this weekend, Roseburg boys and girls soccer have their season openers. They are hosting Newburgh tomorrow. They will be here at Finlay Field with the girls playing first and the boys coming up after. So got a little Roseburg soccer action here at Finlay Field coming up tomorrow if you are looking for some more sports to get into. After the penalty, it's 2nd down and 11. Hernandez will try to pass the bubble screen, and it is broken up by Elijah Wilson. He was taking a defender downfield and was looking back to the court. I mean, that is just a heck of a play to get a hand on that one. It was a pass in through a lot of congestion there, but a nice job by Wilson to knock it down.
He's been awesome tonight, Joey. He had a fumble recovery earlier in the game. He's been making plays on kickoff and kickoff return, and now with the pass deflection there, that's a huge play. Now you get 3rd and 10. You know Ashland is likely throwing the ball. I'd be shocked if they didn't. Big play there for the Roseburg defensive end.
Roseburg soccer, by the way, starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow with the girls. High shotgun snap, 3rd down and 11, rolling to his left, heaving to the end zone, has a man open, and he can't hang on to it. In and out of the hands for Asa Richardson. It would have been an easy 6, but he drops another one. The Ashland Grizzlies, they have not helped out their quarterback tonight. KTM was the man in coverage, got beat on the route to the end zone. It was an easy 6, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, Richardson, great job getting past Caden Toscano-Martin. Toscano-Martin been really aggressive at the line of scrimmage. Richardson able to beat that, get by him, and a great throw from the quarterback, Hernandez. However, just not able to hold on to the ball. And unfortunately for Ashland, they've had a case of the drops throughout the night.
That'll set up 4th down and 11. Ashland getting close to desperation time. And a timeout taken by the Grizzlies as they need to keep the possession, trailing 12-0 with 9.5 to go here in the 4th quarter. They take their first timeout of the second half. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Be back with the remaining action for you here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Along with Carter Stedman, I'm Joey Keeran, bringing you Roseburg High School football tonight here on The Score. Streaming with our video online at 541radio.com and at 1490 The Score on YouTube. It's brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. 4th down and 11 for Ashland. The game might be on the line here, although still quite a bit of time left in this one. Dropping back to pass, pressure coming, stepping up in the pocket. Hernandez, a lot of space, will have the first down and more. Gets to the 10-yard line before Emery Hertini takes him down. And it'll move the chains and into the red zone for the Grizzlies. This might be the first time they've gotten into the red zone here tonight. But dropping back, Roseburg sent pressure. Nobody gets home. It left the middle of the field wide open.
Absolutely, and great composure there from Hernandez, the junior quarterback. Roseburg, they rush 5. They all come around the outside. Great pocket awareness there from the junior to step up in the pocket and make a play with his legs downfield.
Picks up 18 to move the chains. He's in shotgun with trips to his left. 5 targets out there. Pressure coming. He'll have to get rid of it quick. Throws to the end zone, and it's caught just short. He is down just at the half-yard line. Iwamoto had to come back out of the end zone to get to the ball, makes the catch on his knees at the 1. So they will spot it at the half-yard line, a pickup of 9, and quickly to the line goes Ashland. Under center goes Hernandez, looking to sneak it. He gets stood up. He will get in. They give him the forward progress. He got stood up. It looked like his momentum was stopped, but his second effort gets him across as he backs his way into the end zone. The quarterback, Colton Hernandez, gets the Ashland Grizzlies their first points of the season.
Big-time play there from the quarterback, and really that whole drive, he had to put them on his back. Ashland hurt themselves with some penalties. They had a false start. They were moving backwards towards the second half of that drive. On 4th and 10, he takes off up the middle, gets the first down, and then able to make a play with his legs to put it in the end zone. All of a sudden, Joey Roseburg, who's controlled this game all night long, now faces a little bit of pressure with their sophomore quarterback, R.J. Elliott.
The PAT kick is up and good for Matt Atanas. The freshman right-footed kicker will get this one within reach for the Ashland Grizzlies. 12-7, Roseburg in front with 8:37 to go in the ball game. Back after a 30-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service, Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
Well, Ashland responds after Roseburg scores the big breakaway TD. The Grizzlies will get back within a score after a lengthy drive of their own. Colton Hernandez orchestrating the big drive down the field. They'll kick it away. The kicker will be Tegan Marple, right-footed kicker, gets the boot behind it. We'll send it deep. Caden Moon will have it at the 11. Moon working up the numbers, kicks out to the far sideline, lowers his shoulders. He goes across the sideline just around the 30-yard line. I'll say he stepped out at the 29, and that's where Roseburg's offense will come out looking to try and ice a victory here tonight.
Pretty interesting on that kickoff, Joey. The Ashland coaching staff screaming at their punter, Matthew Atanas, to just hit a little pooch kick over there around the 30-yard line. Roseburg was set up for an onside recovery. If he would have kicked it over there, would have been a tough play for either Caden Moon to run up or one of the people up front to go back and get the ball. However, Atanas just put a little too much leg into that one. Roseburg able to take off here with pretty good field position.
So they will start with the football at their own 29-yard line, leading by 5. Roseburg's led the entire game after scoring 6 on the first drive of the game. And shotgun is Elliott. Will hand it off, running over the right side. There is plenty of space for for Lito White, who will weave his way out to midfield, gets tackled across the midfield stripe on the feather, and will take it into Ashland territory on the opening drive play of the drive.
And that's a big-time play there for so many reasons, Joey. I'm sure that Roseburg offense really made up of a bunch of guys who don't have a lot of experience in these situations. Varsity football, Friday night lights, crunch time. You're up one possession. You need to go score points. To get a first down there and pick up nearly 20 yards, if not more, really loosens up, I'm sure, R.J. Elliott and the rest of the offense.
23 yards on the run there. Second longest run of the night for White. I formation with Ruiz in at fullback, tied into the right side. Handoff. White tries to go up the middle, buries his shoulder and slips right through a couple of tacklers. Gets across the 45 to the 44. Will pick up 4 on the first down carry. And he is now had 17 carries tonight. He has become a workhorse. He's up to 88 yards on the ground. Passing game is slowed down for Roseburg here in the second half. I don't believe they've completed a pass this second half so far after going 10 for 14, I think it was, for 120 yards in the first half. 10 for 18, excuse me. 7:20 and counting in the fourth quarter. Roseburg leads 12-7. Pull down the snap and hand it off to White, who continues to try and just eat out yards. And, man, he has just been a workhorse. He has gotten the ball so many times, yet he is seemingly getting stronger as this game goes on.
Yeah, it's been super impressive to see, Joey. I mean, sometimes with tonight, with the plays and the runs that Lido White has had, it resembled kind of the things you saw last year with Roseburg in the wishbone offense, where they're just going to give the ball to their back and just shove him forward for as long as they possibly can. And Lido White, he's been so impressive against these bigger Ashland defenders, just chewing up yards.
7 yards on that play, moves the chains, first down and 10 from the Ashland 37. Fumble on the play, and I think jumping back on top of it is Aiden Morales. So the Indians will recover. That will stay right at the line of scrimmage, so no gain, no loss.
And the second fumble we've seen under center tonight, Joey, you start to question Grayson Coate, the junior center. This is his first start at the varsity level. Maybe some miscommunication or not a lot of chemistry between the young quarterback and center.
Shotgun snap coming here for Elliott. He will give it to White again. Space to run over the left side. Goes over the tackle. He gets spun around twice. And he will stay up long enough to get it to the 29-yard line. Picking up 8 on the play to make it third down and manageable.
Yeah, and great job blocking there by the left half of that Roseburg offensive line. Just giving White the space to get out in space and make those plays. He doesn't pick up the first down. It's not a huge flashy run, but you're taking up yards, you're chewing up the clock, and most importantly, you're in a position here where if you get a first down and you're able to put this ball in the end zone at some point in the next few minutes, you're able to walk away with this one with a huge chance to get the dub.
19 carries, 103 yards on the night for Lido White. He's the deep back in the I formation on third down. Broken play, keeper for Elliott. He goes over the right side and will stretch for the first down. He took a big hit to get it, but he pops right back up. He gets to the 26. Will pick up 3 to move the chains. He went to hand it off, and nobody was there.
Yeah, I have a feeling the fake handoff to the boogeyman out there on the right side of the offensive line was not the play that Connor Neal had drawn up. Either way, heads-up play by Elliott, the quarterback, to just get the first down, keep the chains moving, and most importantly, keep the clock ticking.
The clock is down to 5 minutes to go as the Roseburg student section getting into it just a bit down there. Can hear them getting loud with the band. Roseburg has a first down just outside the red zone. Ashland looking to send some pressure. They'll go the opposite direction of it, but hit in the backfield, and this time they will not let Lido White escape. They had him by his ankle, and he could not get away. I want to say coming up to initially get him was Tegan Marple, wrapped up his leg and just did not let go.
And that was a big open field tackle from Marple. If he doesn't make that tackle, Lido White has the entire left boundary to go run into the end zone. Big play there from Marple and the Ashland defense keeping their hopes alive.
So the ball goes right back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Second down and 10. Fullback is Nick Ruiz, offset to the right of Elliott and shotgun, turns and hands it to White once again, and he will break free again. It's a sprint to the 10. He's at the 5. He will get taken down inside the 5-yard line as once again this Roseburg team just continues to fight for yardage and will not go down.
I mean, I know we've seen a lot of impressive performances here, Joey, throughout the years, especially on the ground running the ball. But I'm not sure we've seen anything close to what we've seen from Lido White tonight. He's now over a century yards rushing. He's been a monster for this Roseburg offense, and now they're about 4 yards away from sealing the deal tonight.
That run sets up first and goal down to the 3-yard line. It was another pickup of 23 for White. He will be the man offset, and they bring in Costner, and Costner will have his first of the season. Oscar Costner takes it in from 3 yards out. It's another touchdown, Roseburg.
maybe one of the more predictable play calls you're going to see here tonight. Costner in the shotgun. We talked about it at the beginning of the game. He's a Tim Tebow-like quarterback. He looks pretty similar to Tebow, honestly, when he's out there. That dude is jacked. Either way, he gets in the gun, takes the ball. You know he's going to run the football, and still the Ashland defense not able to stop him.
Takes it in from 3 yards out, and Roseburg is back up by 2 scores. 18-7, looking to add the extra point. Third rushing touchdown of the night for the Tribe. White has one, Rush has one, and now Costner has one as well. They'll go for 2. Elliott under center, 3 backs behind him. Handed off to Rush. He bounces it out to the outside. Penalty flag comes out, holding on the edge. So that'll negate the 2-point try for Eli Rush, and Roseburg will try to do it again. That'll back up the play as well, so they might bring in some just saw the body language for Eli Rush coming off the field. Just, oh, man, I had it.
Yeah, that's one of the worst feelings as an offensive player, being able to get into the end zone just to turn around and see some yellow laundry on the field, knowing the ball's going back the other way.
So I'm not sure. They switched some things up, and it looks like they're going to try to run a play here. The ball got moved back. It is at the 13-yard line, so Indians will change up the play call. Instead of a run, they may look to pass here. Under center is Elliott with the I formation behind him. White, the deep back. Fake the handoff to him. Rolling to his right is Elliott. He will throw to the end zone. Had him there, but he overthrows Emery Hertini, and so the try will fail. So Roseburg so far has not put in the extra point, but they lead this one 18-7 with 3:25 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll keep it right here and tell you that tonight's game is brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact the travel experts at Travel Leader, Flyaway Travel, and make sure that you have an agent in your corner. Call 541-672-5701. And tonight's game is brought to you by Oregon Pacific Bank, proud to serve what matters most, our people, our communities, and the businesses that make Oregon thrive. Visit OregonPacificBank.com. And I will make my usual plea. If you enjoy tuning in to catch local sports on the radio and on the video stream, however it may be that you're tuning in tonight, none of it is possible without our sponsors that chip in to make it possible. So if you enjoy it, please try to help support the people that are supporting us in our coverage. It means a lot to us that they invest in us and in their businesses within our communities. It means so much that we're able to bring the action to you guys. So I'll make my plea for you guys to help us out by supporting the businesses that help us out. And don't forget to stick around after tonight's ball game is done. We'll have our local post-game show, but then we head to the final drive. It's a statewide scoreboard recap show to get you caught up with all the latest going on in high school football tonight. Kickoff away, settles at the 25, picked up by Ashland. Here comes a big return, breaking free, making men miss as he continues to bounce to the outside. The return man is Asa Richardson. He almost looked like he was about to break that one loose.
Yeah, good damage control there from the kickoff team for Roseburg. Looked like the returner had a wide open lane to break it free, open the middle. However, he decides to cut back, try and work his way to the right side of the field. Roseburg able to bring him down before anything too bad happens there on the return.
So it'll send Ashland out to the 44. Good return. Nearly, I guess that would be a 19-yard return there for Asa Richardson. Richardson had a touchdown go in and out of his hands, but he was bailed out as Colton Hernandez would eventually run in the first score of the season for the Grizzlies. They trail 18-7, an 11-point lead for Roseburg. Hernandez empty backfield, trips to the left side. KTM up tight on Richardson, wide out to the left. Dropping back, some pressure. Wilson flushes him out of the pocket, getting a ball deep downfield, and once again off the fingertips for a receiver. And you can see the potential with Hernandez back there at QB. His receivers need to make some plays for him. I mean, that was not an easy ball to catch, but it's just another one that was right there for one of these receivers for Ashland that could have just been a big momentum-changing play.
Yeah, that was a bomb from Hernandez. I mean, he's rolling out to his right side. He's on the run. He didn't set his feet and just delivers a strike down the field. I believe that was Asa Richardson down there. And like you said, Joey, a tough catch. It does go right off the fingertips. But a lot of times, sometimes rather, you just need your receivers to make a play, and that's what Hernandez needed from his guy right there.
It was Iwamito, the intended receiver. That ball was hucked about 50 yards, 55 yards downfield. 3:10 to go. Roseburg leading 18-7. Rolling out to his left. Pressure coming. Gets rid of it. Has a man open. And it's intercepted. Roseburg gets the takeaway. It's Christenberry that might just have sealed the victory here in the season opener.
And what a completely different throw, Joey, than we saw just a play before from Hernandez. That first throw downfield to Iwamoto, it was a bullet. It had some zip on it. That one just lofted in the air, and we've seen that a couple times tonight. Granted, instead of rolling out to the same side he throws with, Hernandez rolling out to his left, has to make a crossbody throw, and once again, under pressure like he's been all night, just throws up another meatball. This time, it's Max Christenberry coming down and icing the game for Roseburg.
The interception comes with 3:02 to play. Roseburg will have the football at their own 30-yard line. Second interception for Henderson tonight. Second interception for Roseburg's defense tonight. Third takeaway overall. They'll hand it off to who else? Eli Rush. I was going to say Lido White. Rush wears number 5. White wears number 6, so kind of easy to mistake the two. And they've both been pretty shifty tonight. Eli Rush, not a lot of carries, but when he's gotten them, man, he can really weave his way through that offense.
He's been impressive tonight, Joey. I know White's going to take up a lot of the limelight, and rightfully so, but Eli Rush, one of the 3 touchdowns that Roseburg has tonight with that big-time run that came in the third quarter, I believe, he's been just as impressive in my opinion.
It was the start of this fourth quarter for Eli Rush. Breaks free for that 62-yard touchdown run. He is, with the 9-yard carry there, he is up to 82 yards on the night. Roseburg over the 200-yard rushing mark here this evening, and it looks like they're going to get called for a delay of game on this one. Play clock runs down on them. It's not the worst penalty for the Indians to have as they try to wear down the clock here in the fourth quarter, but definitely not something you want to see the team doing too often.
Like you said, Joey, not the end of the world there, but definitely something they've struggled with tonight, and this coaching staff and this young team, they're going to want to move forward, being able to just get those play calls in earlier, giving your sophomore quarterback more time to communicate the play, what you're looking for. A lot of new coaches on this staff as well.
Handoff out of the backfield as Roseburg tries to get the clock going again. The penalty took them back to the 24. Actually, make that the 34, and they'll gain 1 to the 35 on the run by Rush. Maybe giving Lido White a bit of a break here late in this game. He has done a fantastic job to put the team on his back at times, just muscling his way for yardage. Hertini spread out to the right side, Moon to the left side. Wirtz, the tight end, on the right end of the line. Handoff running that right side, trying to go behind the tackle and tight end, and Eli Rush won't go down. Elias will get to the 42-yard line, and that will move the chains for the Indians. A pickup of 7 on the ground on third down.
I have a feeling Monday's practice, Joey, for Ashland is going to be a very, very long session, including form tackling, if I had to guess. It's been a long night for this defense, and these backs between Eli Rush and Lido White have not made it any easier for them.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. First down and 10, a delayed handoff. Rush has blockers, goes to the left side, bounces it out, tries to cut back. Now will poke it out to the far side. Penalty flag did come in. I think the blockers out in front for Eli might have held on a bit too long as he was kind of weaving and darting his way behind the blockers. Maybe a defender makes a move one way and you get that extra tug on the jersey, and they get caught for it there. Stick around for our post-game show, brought to you by Umpqua Dairy, family-owned since 1931. So the penalty on Roseburg on first down will move them back to the 33-yard line. Loss of about 9 or 10 on that one. Ruled from the spot of the foul. Roseburg just trying to wear down the clock, down to 56 seconds to go in this one. Handed off up the middle. The senior Nick Ruiz getting another carry. And the fullback takes it to the 40. He'll pick up 7. And that keeps the clock moving as Roseburg is closing in on a win. A big one here tonight as the Roseburg Indians start off their season with a victory. Coming up next week was going to be a bye week, but Roseburg has added a game. They take on Rex Putnam next Friday night. South Eugene no longer playing a varsity schedule, so that game got canceled for Roseburg. Was going to be a league opponent. South Eugene was going to play Rex Putnam next week, so Putnam needed an opponent. Roseburg jumped on it, and they will get to take on Rex Putnam here at home coming up next Friday night. We'll talk more about that coming up here. 14 seconds to go, clock ticking down. Taking a knee is Elliott, and Roseburg is going to win the season opener once again. A final score of 18-7. The Roseburg Indians on their home field in a classic rivalry battle get to celebrate a victory. 18-7 the final score. We've got the post-game show presented by Umpqua Dairy coming up next. Your final here from Finlay Field. It's all Roseburg tonight. They lead the entire way, and they pick up an 18-7 victory on top of the Ashland Grizzlies. Along with Carter Stedman, I'm Joey Keeran. We've got the post-game show coming up next here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service, Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
At Roseburg Disposal, we're dedicated to meeting your garbage service needs. Started in 1932 by brothers Norm and Orville John, Roseburg Disposal continues to be owned and operated by the John family today, now in its third generation. Providing residential and commercial garbage disposal and recycling, we serve the greater Roseburg area. Invested in our community, our company has participated in many community projects, both financially and through donated services. Committed to our customers and our community, Roseburg Disposal.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Wow! Where are all those ducks heading? We have a pretty good guess. In stores now, Umpqua Ice Cream's Duck Tracks, the official ice cream of your favorite flock.
Summer just got a whole lot tastier at Abby's Legendary Pizza with 3 new reasons to stop by. Meet the new Mix and Match Trio. Choose any 3 of your favorite appetizers for one great price. More variety, more flavor, and more reasons to share. Next, get cheesy with our new Big Mott's cheese bowls. Crispy on the outside, melty on the inside, and perfect for dipping. Choose from sticks or nuggets. Save room for dessert with Abby's 3 new cookies, served warm from the oven. Pizza, appetizers, dessert. Summer just got legendary at your neighbor.
Well, it was quite a game tonight for the Roseburg Indians as they pick up a win in their season opener against the Ashland Grizzlies. A classic battle here, a fun one. Pretty cool to see both the legendary Hall of Fame coaches Thurman Bell and Jim Nagel out here to be honorary captains that start this one off tonight. And the Roseburg Indians able to make their home fans happy and get a big win in that rivalry. Classic one, hadn't been played since 2005, but nonetheless a great way to start out the season here tonight. Along with Carter Stedman, I'm Joey Keeran. This is our Umpqua Dairy post-game show. Umpqua Dairy, family-owned since 1931. Well, Carter, just initial thoughts on the way things started here tonight. Obviously, both teams definitely plenty to clean up here tonight, but for Roseburg, it felt like when things really mattered most, this team found kind of the will to make it happen.
Yeah, honestly, I was really impressed, Joey, and I know the scoreboard might not suggest that it was any sort of blowout, but it felt like from start to finish, Roseburg controlled this game, and a huge credit to that goes to the starting quarterback, R.J. Elliott, a true sophomore. Coming into tonight, he had never thrown a pass at the varsity level. He comes in, I thought he played really well, commanded the offense with great poise, and then obviously when you have guys like Lito White and Eli Rush in the backfield who run for, I don't know what their total was combined between the two of them, but they ran all over this Ashland defense. So that was the first thing that really stood out to me. Second thing, the Indians' defense, the secondary especially, they were so impressive against a team that came into this game saying, hey, we're going to throw the ball. We know you know we're going to throw the ball, and we just still think we're going to beat you. Ashland came in with that mentality. They paid the price for it. Colton Hernandez last year threw for 2,000 yards. You probably wouldn't have guessed that based off the way the Indians' defense played against him tonight. And then that front seven, the way Roseburg plays, they like to bring pressure up front. They're going to go man coverage or drift back into deep zones on the back end. And that just made it really hard on this Ashland offense. They also didn't help themselves with quite a few drops. But overall, really impressed with the way Roseburg played this game. And to come out with a young team and just get a win in and of itself is such a huge step in the right direction for Coach Watson and his squad.
I mean, looking at things in a grand scheme pictures, obviously Ashland just 2 wins last year, but a win is a win. And this was a team that last year they were young, felt like they had grown up and were ready to take their next step this year. Like you said, you look at the numbers for Colton Hernandez, over 2,000 yards passing last year. You've got receivers out there that are big, 6'5", 6'2", 6'4", 6'1". Both Coach Watson and Coach White, and for the coaches for both teams, they brought that up. Hey, look, we know we've got big receivers. Teams are going to have to try to figure out which guy you want to try to take away. And, there were at times I think Ashland beat themselves here a little bit tonight. Some drops, some balls that could have been caught for some of their guys that they weren't able to hang on to here tonight. But also you got to credit Roseburg's defensive backs. They felt really good about those guys in coverage. They come up well. You've got a quarterback that's only a sophomore making his first varsity start. R.J. Elliott looked pretty good here, although does not complete a pass in the second half. And you've got some new guys. And, I mean, this Roseburg team graduated a ton, a bunch of seniors. Guys like Paxton Burke that led the 5A and 6A level in interceptions last year with 8. A quarterback that had started for 2 years in Corey Kimball. Running backs in the backfield that had been kind of their main guys throughout the entire season. A receiver like McLean Stedman, who was their leading receiver last year. Their top guys all graduated, so there was a lot of holes to fill, and tonight I think we saw Roseburg see some guys start to fill those gaps. Room to grow, but it's the week 0, first game of the season, so a lot of room and a lot to take from this one here tonight. But as you look at it, Ashland obviously it's hard to go off of last year because so much changes for every team, as we just discussed. But last year, just 2 wins for Ashland. Roseburg gets a season-opening win against them. Putnam last year didn't win a game. So maybe another opportunity to keep working and fine-tuning things against a team that maybe you've got a chance to run things up on next week. Don't want to overlook any opponent, but next week Putnam coming in, a late add to the schedule, a team that went winless last year. We'll see if Roseburg can kind of start out the season on a high note with a couple of big victories to start out the year.
Yeah, and like you said, Joey, it's hard to get into the weeds of last year and what teams look like, but if you want to look at Ashland statistics and what Roseburg did tonight, last year Ashland averaged on offense 30 points a game. Tonight Roseburg shut them out for the first 3 quarters. They hold them to 6 points throughout the entire game. However, on the other side of that coin, Ashland gave up 40 points a game on defense, Roseburg only scoring 18. One thing that is really an insane statistic to me, Joey, last year average yards per game for Roseburg, 232. During the break, you told me they rushed for, I believe it was 240 yards on the ground. That's just an insane statistic. And like we saw with the offense tonight, there's been some major changes. I thought being able to spread things out, get your weapons on the outside has proved to be effective for them, especially in the run game where you can still run between the tackles and there's just less bodies and less congestion for guys like Eli Smith and Lito White. So I was really impressed with that. I'm interested to see once we get into league and after they play Putnam, what does that look like against maybe some more competitive competition where you have some really, really high caliber defensive fronts? How does that youth shape up against a maybe more poised, more experienced defense?
Well, as we make our way through the Umpqua Dairy postgame show, we've got another break to get into. We will take a look at those final numbers for you. We've got a couple of scores of note here, and we are waiting for our friends up in Eugene who are producing The Final Drive, a statewide scoreboard show that will cover what went on here on this Friday night around high school football. They are waiting for the Willamette game to wrap up on their station, so once they go final with that, which it looks like it should be here soon, probably by the time we wrap up our post game, we'll send it over to that. So stay with us. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back and look at some stats and scores and wrap things up for you here from Finlay Field. This is Roseburg High School football on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Just got a whole lot tastier at Abby's Legendary Pizza with 3 new reasons to stop by. Meet the new Mix and Match Trio. Choose any 3 of your favorite appetizers for one great price. More variety, more flavor, and more reasons to share. Next, get cheesy with our new Big Mott's cheese bowls. Crispy on the outside, melty on the inside, and perfect for dipping. Choose from sticks or nuggets. Save room for dessert with Abby's 3 new cookies served warm from the oven. Pizza, appetizers, dessert. Summer just got legendary at your neighborhood Abby's.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Wow! Where are all those ducks heading? We have a pretty good guess. In stores now, Umpqua Ice Cream's Duck Tracks, the official ice cream of your favorite flock.
Back here to wrap things up from Finlay Field as the Indians get a season-opening victory, 18-7, the final one here. Taking a look at some of the stats for you. Roseburg on the night, 10 for 23 through the air, 120 yards and 1 interception. Roseburg overall, 369 yards of total offense. R.J. Elliott, not bad. Doesn't throw in a touchdown. Does have the one interception, but also didn't complete a pass in the second half. Kind of crazy there. 249 yards on the ground for Roseburg tonight. Leading the way was Lito White as he carries 20 times for 126 yards, had one touchdown. That came on the opening drive of the game. He punches it in from 1 yard out. Eli Rush comes alive in the second half, most of that coming on a big 62-yard touchdown run on the first play of the fourth quarter. He finishes with 90 yards on 6 carries and the 1 score. 24 yards on the ground for the fullback, Nick Ruiz, on 4 carries. The backup Tim Tebow change of pace quarterback Oscar Costner finishes with 7 yards on 4 carries. He did have a 3-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter. R.J. Elliott was at -1 on 2 carries. Got tackled for a loss early in the game. And Graham Fisk, 1 carry for 3 yards. Leading receiver was Caden Moon with 31 yards on 4 catches. 25 yards for Lito White on 2 receptions. 1 catch for Eli Rush of 23 yards. 24-yard reception for Danner Wirtz. And Emery Hertini had 2 catches for 17. On the other side, for Ashland, they finished with a total of 136 yards of offense here tonight. 10 of 25 through the air for Colton Hernandez. He had 10 for 25, 96 yards, 2 interceptions. The Ashland Grizzlies also finished with 40 yards on the ground, most of them for Hernandez. He finishes with 37 yards on the ground on 7 carries with 1 touchdown run, the only score of the game for Ashland. Receiving numbers, 4 catches for 44 yards for Iwamoto. 2 catches for 24 yards for, that was, let me get the first name, Gavin Lavorse. He had the 2 grabs, 2 catches for Brock for 19 yards, 2 catches for 9 yards for Richardson here tonight. That is a look at some of the final stats from this one. You kind of hear some of the stats, and we saw the game. What's maybe one thing that stands out the most to you here tonight, Carter?
Yeah, I think it's just interesting to me coming into the game looking on paper, you would have thought Ashland was the favorite. And then you read the post-game stats on paper, and it couldn't be more different. That's why you come out here and play the game on the gridiron like we did tonight. But, yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is just the joy I saw from this Roseburg team at the end of the game. Once R.J. Elliott took that final knee and pretty much called it game, just the joy and the pure emotion that I saw from the young guys on this team and their sideline, that's something to get excited about if you're a Roseburg fan. You have a lot of juniors on this team. Your starting quarterback's a sophomore. So these guys are going to be around for a little bit. And it's a big deal to come out here and get a win on opening night. Yes, I get it's against an opponent who's at the 4A level and not the 5A or 6A classification, but that doesn't really matter in my opinion. So just the joy that these guys played with, the excitement that I saw tonight, and then obviously running for nearly 250 yards, that's something to take home and feel pretty good about as well.
Absolutely. Taking a look at a couple of scores here real quick before we send it off to the final drive, who will have a full comprehensive scoreboard check for you here. But some local scores. Sutherland gets a win over North Bend 29-14 tonight. Thurston, a future league opponent, rallies to take out Sheldon 20-17. Klamath Union defeats Douglas 26-12 here this evening. And let's see here. I think that is going to do it for pretty much the local scores that I have in front of me right now. I know earlier we were keeping tabs on North Douglas and Cross Point Christian. And last I had seen, Cross Point Christian, final 26-14. Cross Point Christian gets the win over North Douglas. So they have turned the lights out on us here, so I guess that means it's time to go home. Coming up next is the final drive to wrap up your Friday night of high school football. Carter Stedman, thanks so much, bud. It's great to have you tonight. Carter will be with us kind of off and on throughout the season when he can work it in around his cross-country schedule down at Southern Oregon. Great to have you here with us tonight, Carter.
Thanks for having me. It's always good to be up here in the booth and love doing it, so I appreciate all the support and you having me up here.
Well, it's a lot of fun to have you, former Roseburg Indian, in the booth here with me. And thanks to Angela Keeran for help with the video production here tonight. Thanks to Dale Cranford back in the studio for the radio production this evening. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keeran. That does it for the season opener for Roseburg football. 18-7, the final score. The final drive is coming up next. Make sure you tune in for Roseburg football next Friday night when they host the Rex Putnam squad for a non-league matchup. That'll be Friday night here at Finlay Field. Starting at 7 o'clock, we will get things going with the Oregon Pacific Bank Friday night pregame show starting at 6 o'clock. You can follow Roseburg High Sports online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel and right here on Douglas